How y'all doing, man? It's your boy, the Calm Man, KHAM, score man.510. That's the Bay. Catch me on Universal Debates. Catch me on What It Sound Like podcast. We get your best reviews and interviews. Catch me on the Blerd Cartel. You know we doing well. And catch me on Blerd Proof Entertainment on Tap In, No Capping. Or basically, if you're a Blerd and you've seen it, then what's your opinion? Go ahead, introduce yourself, Nick.
How you doing? I'm Isaac. Nick Pop Pics on Instagram. Yeah, ready to see a good battle.
Sir, Tazuku.
What's up, brother? I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting it popping with the boys. You know, we out here late night, you know, about to see what's cracking.
Yes, sir, Ninja.
Ninja Wakanda on Instagram, the one and only.
Okay, my boy Absorbing Man. Battle Junkies.
The OG Battle Junkie. Check me out on Instagram, battle_junkies. Same thing on TikTok. Get it?
All right. So, man, sorry for the little delay. I don't know what happened with the StreamYard. Basically, all the streams that we were trying to stream into all the platforms somehow got deleted. So we have to redo it. So hopefully for the people I sent the flyer to, you know, somehow y'all find it. But yeah, man, we just gonna jump straight into it. Usually we give a little discussion before the topic, but we're already 15 minutes behind, so we're gonna jump right into it. Battle Junkies and Ninja, go ahead and rock, paper, scissors for the first. Not even rock, paper, scissors. Let's do your introduction first. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Nikita, you got a timer?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, bet. So every introduction, real quick. Yes, sir. Here we go. All right, introduction is 3 minutes, so set it for 3 minutes.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Start when he goes.
All right. So here I am. I'm here to defend the one and only, the iconic Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is straight from out of the comic books, Themyscira, Greek mythology. She takes nobody's shit. When it's time to get down, guess what? You better phone her up because she's laying everyone out. So for me, this character has been one of the things where, for me, as you know, seeing women that are powerful, that can stand among some of the greatest heroes of her universe, Wonder Woman comes through and time again shown that she can step up and rock with gods, with men, anything in between with beasts. I think her abilities and all her weapons she has at her disposal are something that's to be feared, to be reckoned with, because she is blessed by the gods, by the pantheon. And her battle experience, her will to win, and also being able just to adapt on the fly is one of those things that's very seldom you see from other characters like Batman likes to work alone. Cyborg's not really good by himself. Even Superman sometimes. So you need somebody who's going to bring all that together, and she's prepared for war her entire life. So going against somebody like Creel, that's a no-brainer. She can handle herself. She's known to be handling herself, being one of the greatest combatants in DC, hand-to-hand or in a large-scale war. So for me, I think what she brings to the table is a whole lot of whoopings. What she brings to the table is a lot of battle experience, and I think she's able to outthink, out-skill, and even, you know, toe-to-toe. I mean, Creel's an interesting character, is pretty tough, but Wonder Woman will handle her business like she always does. Clock in, handle business, clock out. So, I mean, for me, that's Wonder Woman in a nutshell.
Okay, that's time.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, bet.
You still got a minute, but yeah.
All right, bet. All right, battle junkies. Start when you ready.
Okay. So let's start at the beginning. First appeared in Journey to Mystery in 1965. Ever since he first appeared, he's been an absolute menace to Marvel. So to begin, he is a death row inmate that was chosen by the god of mischief to be the original god killer. So Loki chose Trio over all the inmates over the world. This is the guy who's going to take down my brother, the warrior champion that conquers other realms, all the other realms in Asgard. This is the dude that I want to pick to fight him, and he's done that job beautifully. Every single time he's appeared, writers have to scramble to find a way to get this dude off the panel. And I'm going to go into more detail later on with my debate. The key word I want you guys to remember going into this battle: versatility. Versatility. He says Wonder Woman is able to adapt. I guess. She was freaked out when she had ice cream for the first time. Able to adapt. Let's cool it down, right? Crusher Creel has been consistent ever since his beginning and only gotten stronger. And we'll get more into that later on in our debate. But yeah, let's get it. That's all I gotta say for Crusher Creel for his intro.
Cool, man. All right. So before we get into this, I want to ask the judges, who do y'all feel might get? Who do y'all have, like, just before we get into the debate? Who do y'all feel like might get this fight? Start off with the Keys. Who do you think might get this?
Based off of the people defending them or the actual characters?
No, just the characters.
Characters? I don't know Absorbing Man that good, so I'm thinking Wonder Woman. But if I'm convinced otherwise, then I'll say it.
Yeah.
Okay, Zuku.
Absorbing Man is the worst name I've ever heard for a character. I'm never gonna vote for him. He's trash.
Jeez. Don't be biased.
I mean, he sounds interesting. I for one, I think Wonder Woman is one of her character flaws is that she is very strong, but she is quite foldable, malleable. Someone might say.
Well, we gonna fold her.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Can this guy fold her? I don't know. She got some stuff.
Okay. All right. So, just to let y'all know, I like both characters. I'm unbiased. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very impressed with Absorbing Man from what I've seen. Of course, I've always been impressed with Wonder Woman. But all that to say, this is gonna be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all go ahead and rock, paper, scissors for it. First, whoever gets the first hand, I'm gonna go with.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Can you switch us?
Oh, my fault, brother.
I didn't want to be on the losing side. That's all that was.
So good. All right, so the first round is going to be powers and abilities, and it's going to be 4 minutes. So go ahead, rock, paper, scissors for it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Right, we go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Hey, you got a coin? Flip a coin.
Y'all can't be in sync. 1, 2,
Nah,
go.
that was just a fucking. Okay, let's go.
Ready?
Set,
go.
1, 2, 3. I got scissors. Sorry. I got scissors.
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of looks cheating to me. Right, who do you want to go first?
All right, Wonder Woman, let's go. You go first.
All right.
So I'm going first.
Yes.
All right. So let me know you guys are ready.
Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about Diana. Right? We're talking about Wonder Woman. Um, she's a demigod, right? She's been blessed by the gods, like I mentioned before. So she already has strength, speed, reflexes. On top of those speed and reflexes and the strength, she has battle tactics, right? She's been trained for war her entire life. We're talking about equestrian, archery, sword play, shield play. She's also been with war tactics. She's been alive for approximately 3,000 years. So what that does, that's giving her a wider scope of range of battle for, the average hero or villain. And then you're talking about all the weapons she was blessed with by the gods. So she has her tiara, she has her bracers, she has her sword that splits atoms. That was created by Hephaestus himself. So that splits atoms out the gate. She can summon that anywhere, anytime. On top of her lasso of truth, which she can use to restrain people, make them tell the truth. She can even do mind control with the lasso. And then you have to add the ability that she can fly because she has the boots of Hermes. And then also the bracers are actually really a leash for her abilities, because if she takes the bracers off, she has God mode, right? That's when she lets loose. And so that was really interesting figuring that out, because she has this held back power, yet she still scales up with the Supermans, the Captain Atoms, the Green Lanterns. And these Green Lanterns, even for an idea, they can even hold back black stars with their Green Lantern rings, which is crazy, right? So she has all these abilities. She's been dubbed by Batman as one of the best melee fighters in the DC universe. I mean, greater than Superman and even greater than himself, because she just comes with too much raw power with the skill and ability to go with it. Is she invulnerable? Absolutely not. But when she has the abilities and the skill to back that up, using all her weapons and tools, she's not getting stopped. She can get slowed down, but she's not getting stopped. There's nothing I've seen that's going to stop her shield, her sword, her lasso, as well as her bracers, or even her tiara. I mean, these are all things, again, gifted by the gods that can do great damage on any opponent. Her sword has stabbed Superman, chopped his arm off. Her sword has stabbed Darkseid. She went toe-to-toe with Darkseid, Doomsday, Convict, which is a really big villain that Batman and Superman had to combine their powers just to try to contain. She has all the tools to get the job done. She has all the experience to get the job done. And when she shows up, it's either get down or lay down. So I'm not concerned about that. She comes with everything she needs, on top of her healing ability, on top of her ability to dispel magic, and on top of her ability of flight. And she even has, light immortality, because again, she's not unbeatable, but it would take an extreme amount of damage from a high opponent to take her life. So I think she comes with all that cased up, and she has the ability to use it, unlike where I feel like Creel is the dude around the corner that got some superpowers. Good for him. But I don't think that scales up to Wonder Woman in the slightest.
Do you want to reference some scans since you have some?
Yeah, for sure. So like looking at, so the one scan is I have for her sword. Her sword splitting atoms, that's enough to pierce Darkseid, and that's enough to pierce Superman.
What number is that?
So that would be, for her scan, that would be, let's see. It's 29. Scan 29.
No, okay. We got this for the sword, but yeah.
So you have to understand how tough Superman's skin is, right? Being Kryptonian, but with her godlike abilities and her gifts, with her weapon, she's enough to take it to somebody like that. And look at the raw damage she's inflicted on him outside of, her own. Now, granted, in this instance, her sword was laced with kryptonite, but even without that, Superman has cut himself on her sword by accident, because that's, again, it's an atom splitter. So we're talking about, molecular level type stuff. I also think that with the ability of her tiara, she's beheaded, elder gods. And that's just the tiara on top of her head. She goes, you know what, hold this. Take his head off. I mean, that's a pretty impressive weapon. And she does that. She's done that numerous times. Also, if you look at her bracers can not only reflect damage, absorb damage, they can dispel magic, but they can also reflect God abilities. So we're talking about like God level blasts, strikes.
That's time. Time. All right. Let's go ahead and flip back. All right. That was a good round. Battle Junkies, you ready?
Of course.
All right.
Oh, actually, real quick, there's a clarifying question. This round is powers and abilities, right? And then the next round would be equipment?
Armors and weapons.
Okay, making sure.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, you ready? I'm gonna actually, Con, if you could bring up scan number 1.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm gonna start off with his first ability, his first well-known ability. This is the first panel where he's actually drinking the magic potion from Loki. He slipped it into his drink while he was having child time. This nigga decided to go on a prison break right then and there, stealing the powers that he absorbed, right? The guards opened fire on the dude. And the moment the bullets touched his skin, he became metal, the same metal that the bullets were made out of, and was able to break out. So he has absorbing on a high rate. Not only, I know you said the sword cuts through atoms, that's cool. He's able to change and replicate his body on a molecular level, right? So let me bring up other ways that you could use this absorbing, because when you come to think of Crusher Creed, absorbing man, if you ever think of him at all, you just think he could absorb all the materials around him. Great. So all the weapons, all the god weapons that you're bringing to the battle, it's my weapons now. Try fighting your weapon, your braces of submission. Try fighting Creel after he touches those, and he becomes a solid mass of that. And with equivalent abilities as well, it gives him a Zenkai boost on any type of material he touches. Touches stone, he's on Thor's level, fighting him as stone. He touched Mjolnir, he's smacking up on Thor. Also, so let me bring up another scan. Can you bring up number 7? I'm just elaborating the point on how fast he's able to turn. So in this scan right here, before he was glass, this lady threw this glass object at him. Instantly became glass, and it says that he absorbs it. And then the next instant, he touches silk just to show off. Dude's a fucking menace. If you want to bring up number 6, that ball and chain that he wields is able to also absorb other material. Wonder Woman, like you like to tout around, is a world-class fighter. That means she goes for the jugular. She goes for all the weak points on a person, and she knows how to block professionally, right? Like you said, nothing's getting past that shield. He's not trying to block it. He's trying to absorb it. You feel me? He runs around with no shirt on. That same feat that worked on Superman would not work on Crusher Field. That kind of already push your that argument mute. Can you bring up number 8 real quick? So this is another clear. So these two scientists are saying how crazy Creel's power is. It's incalculable. He's able to absorb the mass of solid objects as well as the height. As you can see, he's well taller than the building on the left panel. And on the right panel, he's all water. That's him. There's a little tugboat under him. He's a Logia fruit. How does Wonder Woman fight Logia? Does she have armament hockey? I'm not sure she does. So his powers vary in different ways. Sometimes in the comic book, it actually mentions that his powers doesn't even have guidelines. That's whatever his imagination is, which is kind of OP broken, and he carries that into the other day, into the more recent comics. So if you want to bring up, let's do 10.
No, 10, 11.
Oh, I'm sorry, 11. So he absorbs New York to fight Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer runs away from him as he absorbs the entirety of New York. This one, he's actually absorbed an island. Actually, no, this one, I think he actually absorbed half a continent to fight the whole. It was an island. So he's absorbed an island to fight. So not only just small mass, he can absorb small mass, he can absorb larger things.
1 minute.
So let me get into this point because it gets very crucial here. If you look up number 12, not only can he just absorb material stuff, he can also absorb powers. This is him absorbing Hulk's powers. That's him on the lower panel lifting that big ass rock. He looks like a little ant. That's just the Hulk's strength alone, not his gamma, his strength. He's able to absorb people's abilities. Number 14, please. This is him getting juggled by the beast. He then takes his beast powers, his body, his fur, his agility. He doesn't need to touch just Wonder Woman's divine weapons. He can touch Wonder Woman's divinity.
20
Take
seconds.
her strength, her speed. He'll be on the same point. Batman has 3 contingency programs, 2 of which says that she has to fight somebody who is at the same level as her until she burns out. That's what Kree would be. Also, last point. Watch 3 battles with Death Battle. They brought her up 3 times. 1 to She-Ra, 1 to Thor, and 1 to Rogue. She lost the first 2. She lost to Rogue. Wonder why?
All right. Okay. Let's flip that. All right. So now we get a 2 minute and 30 second rebuttal round. Ninja, it's on you. You ready?
All right. Yeah.
All right.
So right away you talked about his ability to absorb, which I agree. It is underrated ability, right? But what you forget to mention is when he absorbed that small island, when he absorbed that building, when he turned into a giant mass of water, his brain capacity also dissipated because it's such a large menace. So you can only hold that for so long. Is it impressive? Sure. But you think it's going to stop Wonder Woman? Absolutely not. And then you talk about like where, yes, Wonder Woman's a fierce fighter. She's going to go toe to toe. But again, what is his battle IQ? His first thing is, I need to touch something or touch you to catch up to you, right? To meet you where you are. He can't hold that for that long. Everything I've seen is while he is durable, he can't hold it for forever, right? He also can't control what he absorbs if something touches him, right? And then also, can he absorb 2 things at once? If he can absorb 2 things at once, right? And then what power is going to use? Because how often, if you're in battle, oh, I got hot, I got cold, oh, I got something else. He's not smart enough. The biggest thing that Creel has against him, right? Because you said his power is, it's OP, which again I give you credit for that. But his battle IQ is like a stump a stump. Like my man's he's thinking at 3rd grade. So again, I give him credit for the ability, but you also have to remember he can only retain so much for so long.
All right. That's time?
Yep.
All right. Cool. All right, Battle Junkies. Rebuttal's on you. You ready?
Yep.
Let's get into it.
Oh. So that was just his first ability I wasted my time on. Second ability, I'm just gonna make this quick. Healing and regeneration. Also to just address some of your arguments, his durability is whatever durability that he touches, including Wonder Woman's skin, including the bracelets, including the lasso, that's unbreakable. 2, as you read in the comic books, he gets more proficient in touching and absorbing what he wants and when he wants it. Yes, he can absorb multiple abilities. If you want to bring up actually, if you want to take up 18 real quick, I just want to show his durability. 18 is Power Man, your boy Luke Cage, punching him full might. He eats that shit without in his human form. Doesn't even bother turning in. His battle IQ, he was a professional heavyweight boxer. Now turned killer, now turned Godslayer, multiple times. He also absorbed chaos magic and Magneto's electricity magic, number 42. Just shows you again how much mass he can, or how much abilities he can absorb. You're talking about buildings. I'm not talking about buildings that he absorbs. I'm talking about they're there if he needs them. I'm talking about what he's specifically going to be touching on Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman, he doesn't have to touch Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has to touch him, or could touch him with a punch, with a kick, with a slice, with a set. If you could name me one projectile weapon other than the tiara, which if she throws, he'll be made out of.
30 seconds.
If she's actually, none of that would even fucking matter. None of that would even fucking matter to Creel, because he was gonna absorb and touch and reform as much as he likes, and he got more proficient into it as he goes on. He's able to keep up with people like Sentry, and absorb all Sentry's powers and become as fast and as powerful as Sentry. If you're telling me that Sentry's not on the level as Wonder Woman, you talking about battle IQ? He's taking down whole teams, the Avengers.
Time. Try to give you that little second.
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, judges, how y'all feeling about that first round? Taizuka, we'll start with you.
Now, like, am I supposed to give like insight into my feelings on the actual like argument itself, or
just like how you feel about the arguments, just how you feel about the first round?
I mean, I think it was an interesting first round. I do think that the Absorbing Man, I mean, he does sound like really tough and like strong, but I don't know how much him absorbing Wonder Woman or like rocks and shit around her would be like really helping him in a fight. Like, I feel like the stuff that we've seen would be cool, but like he can't absorb Thor in a fight against Wonder Woman. That would help him a lot. So like I'm not really sure. Like I was saying, like Wonder Woman is quite foldable. So like I don't know, him matching her durability, like she might be able to fold herself, to be honest. So I don't know. I'm not moved yet. We'll see.
At least you let it know where you stand. Nikitas, man, how you feel about the battle so far?
Yeah, I'm thinking Absorbing Man's kind of winning slightly. I think the arguments were a little bit stronger, so I'm basing it off the arguments. I think he kind of had an answer for everything, and kind of listed more abilities over weapons. That's going to be a different category, right? The weapons?
Yes, that's the next one.
Yeah. I think that one kind of, he kind of listed those better. I don't know if that gives him the edge to win, though. It just makes him very durable.
Of course. Okay.
So like he won't lose, but he's also, I don't know how he's gonna win. So I'd like to see how it progresses.
Okay. And yeah, man. So the battle's going really nice. I think good points were made on both ends. I think Ninja, if you can reference your notes for the scans to let me know which scan is the ones you referencing when you're running through, just make sure you can do that. So for the people who are viewing, don't know Wonder Woman as well as you do, it can give them an image of, what it is that you're referencing. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Four points on both sides to both battlers. Thank you all for all coming in. Thank you to all the comments. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Kai. Shout out to all my shout out to Chris. Shout out to all my people tuning in, man. Thank you to all the judges that tuned in last minute. Thank y'all so much. So yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and go into that next round. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Right. Second round. It's gonna be powers and abilities. I think Battle Junkies will start off with you. So sorry, not last round. Armor and armor and weapons. Excuse me. Armor and weapons. Second round. Battle Junkies is on you. You ready?
Go. Yep.
All right, let's do it.
So I know there's a power. This is about weapons and equipment. Real quick, pants, ball and chain, ring made out of adamantium, and I'm gonna let you guys use your imagination with what he does with that. So I'm gonna get back into his powers. So This dude has mind reading abilities. If you could bring up, hold on, wait. Number 21.
Yeah, I got you, brother. Right here.
Boom. Talk about his own mental state. He's able to control other people's minds, like the Hulk, who has built up resistance to telepathy. So he's able to enter the Hulk's dream state and control him to a low level telepath. Now, if you could bring up number 80 or shit, the last guy, 58 for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman doesn't have the same abilities. This is her getting mind wiped by a guy named Maxwell Lord, convincing her to stab herself. If you guys wanted to know how Creel could win, multiple ways. Like the judge said, she's very foldable. She is demi-human. Anything that could work on Creel, won't work on Creel, will work on Wonder Woman. If you could bring up 51. You guys keep talking about touching rocks and stuff. I'm talking about touching her own blade after she tries to stab him like she does Superman. And then turning his arms into blades. The same material that cut Superman is what he could make his blades and arms out of. What's Wonder Woman doing against that? If he boxes Wonder Woman with the proficiency of a professional boxer, he's going to fuck her up. What other? If you wanted to bring up number shit 34. This is Batman, a human, kicking the wind out of Wonder Woman's stomach. That would not happen to Girl on any fucking bad day of the year. Yeah, he could absorb strictly Wonder Woman's strength and just leave the durability shit alone. He could absorb that, and like you said, if you wanted to know if he could bring up multiple powers, he definitely can. If you could look up 24, this is him fighting a whole team. The size of a building.
Let's see. Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, boom. He absorbed just the height of the building. I don't know if you can tell from his the scan, but both of his arms are two different types of metals, and he has brick stomach. Fighting a whole team. You talking about battle conscious? If you bring up number 4, we're talking about him being a real threat to real gods, not just demigods like Wonder Woman. So if you bring up number 4, in this scan, Odin tries to blast him, and he absorbs Odin's rays. And Odin says he's the first threat he had in the millennium. That's the All-Father. That's the dude who gave Thor the hammer. He's saying that about Creel. He had to banish him, which leads me to my other ability. This dude is fucking immortal. If you want to put number 5, he spent months in space. Just chilling out there for months till he caught a ride on a rocket ship back to Earth. I don't think Wonder Woman could breathe in space, let alone fly. If you want to bring up flight, because she has her boots that gives her flight. If without her boots, if you want to look up
30 seconds.
Number 43. Number 43. He keeps up with Quasar, a dude who's on the same par as like a Green Lantern. He speed blitzes him, breaks out his construct, and passes him. He has the same ability of flight as Thor does, with just wielding his ball chain and throwing it. So no matter where Wonder Woman goes, he's a threat. And again, if Wonder Woman can attack him without her means of attacking, which is punching, kicking, stabbing, lasso, tiara, all those which he could absorb, it's a fucking problem. If he touches her invisible plane, what would happen?
Right,
the versatility of this dude. Okay, yeah.
No. He trying to go off. He trying to go off. He's trying to go off. All right, bet. All right, man. All right, Ninja. He was trying to throw some shit at you, man. He's trying to throw some shit at you.
Listening.
Man, laid it down. Changed my whole perspective. Okay. It's on our boy. Don't count my boy out, man. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
4 minutes, man. Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, so first off, we talked about weapons and armor, right? So we pretty much covered that. She has the tiara, the sword, the shield, the boots, the bracers, right? Now, I think it's wildly ridiculous to think that a professional boxer is going to piece up Wonder Woman. So if you bring up, it'd be scanned number 21. So she's going toe to toe with Superman and helping them to fight Convict. Convict is somebody that Batman and Superman combined needed help to handle. So the very next scan right after that, which would be 22. He was scan 22.
That's 22.
Okay, so then go
What's
back.
the name of it?
It's when she one-shots the armored villain, which is Convict.
I don't have that. I don't know what happened to it. I don't think I got that.
Okay, so anyway, same villain, one-shots him in the body, right? Done. Batman, Superman trying to come up with all these plans. Their plan was Wonder Woman. She handled it. So the other thing you want to talk about is mind control. So it's funny you brought that up because the same person that mind controlled her, right? She threw it out the window. So it would be scan number, I think it's number 8 that I have here, is where she breaks that same mind control.
No, that's not it.
I have 8 on mine.
I got it labeled though. Resistant mind control.
There you go. So the same person you're talking about controlling her, she's not playing that. That's take that out of there. That's a wrap, right? So mind control, like that's one of his like, oh, I'll make it. Nah, she's not going for that, man. Her mind's too strong, right? So now she talked about in space, he talked about his immortality. Absorb Man is not immortal. Now, inside his shaped form, yeah, he can be immortal. He can reattach himself, and that's how he survives space. But he's not immortal. He cannot breathe air. He cannot breathe water unless he absorbs that thing. So if he's in his human form, he's just as vulnerable as anyone else. You talked about Luke Cage one-shotting him in the face, like that's Luke Cage. That's not Wonder Woman. He's not taking that like that. Just in his human form, he's gonna have to absorb something. He's gonna have to find some way to tank that ability. So you're talking about he's just a professional boxer? Like, nah. So also you talked about taking like Zeus's blast. So number 15 is her taking a full blast from Ares in full God mode, dusting it off.
Yes, sir. No, why it's acting like that?
That was the Celestial Dragon she tanked. Same thing. It's a full blast. She's dusting it off. But the other one is same thing. Full blast Ares. So you're talking about Zeus and all stuff. She rolls with Zeus. That's nothing. So you think just because he can, just because he mentioned him? Nah, man. You got to remember, she's a demi-human, but she rolls with the gods like a boss. So you can't throw it out there. And then the last one I want to throw in there, because he talked about his fighting ability, fighting all these different people at once. How about fighting everyone else blind? How about the entire Justice League blind? Let's just say. So that'd be the last scan I sent you, Con.
Yeah.
The one I just sent you.
Yeah. Thor, I don't think I got that. You got another one where it says blind. Okay. I think it's the reverse flash or something like that.
Yeah, you can even use that one. Still, it's number 26.
Okay, thank you.
See, even there, this is in the same league. She caught the reverse flash, who is faster than whatever guy you mentioned. Whatever, I don't even know his name. It's like whatever you're talking people who can hit the speed force. Caught him with the lasso. She's matching that speed. She can keep up with speedsters in her universe, which Marvel universe speedsters don't compare. Thor is not as fast. Silver Surfer is not as fast as Barry, Zoom, or any of those people. Jesse Quick, any of the speedsters. So you gotta scale that back before you talk about just, he can do all that. Look, catch him slip. How you catch the Flash slipping, bro? Come on now. You gotta remember, Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman for a reason. And so, I think with the ability that she has, again, and the tactical ability at what she's capable of in combat, he's not seeing it. He'll give her some problems. I always give credit what credit's due, but he's not seeing it. And you talk about a boxer. Come on, bro. Come on.
All right, that's time. All right. I see it's a little difference what you got labeled as your skin. So just try to say what it is, and then I'll look for the title of it and we'll try to figure it out.
I know, because we're working on the list. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. So rebuttal round, man. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You ready?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you bring up 32?
Oh, damn. Hold on, brother. Let me pull you up on the screen.
He talking about keeping up the flash. Can you bring up 32, please?
Oh, all right.
What's happening here? What the fuck is happening here? She gets shot with a basic ass hunting rifle. Sir, keep up with who? Say what? You know what? Can you bring up the Marvel grid or the Marvel Power Grid real quick? Because he's joking, saying like, oh, you know, I think you're lacking on my nigga right here.
What scan is that?
If you it would be
right, I got it.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Marvel's Power Grid. This is how they rate all their characters, right? All the characters, from 1 being like below average, 2 being a regular person, to 7 being unquantifiable. Can you see his scan again? Can you bring up his scan? Can you see his charts? What is that? All 7s, right? All 7s. Non-quantifiable. His limit is depending on who he is fighting at that time. Again, Wonder Woman punches him 1 time, he's moving as fast as Wonder Woman. Point simple. I already showed you that he could take her abilities and then leave her fucking trash durability behind, right? Something that she can't do. Again, like one of the judges said, there's no way for Wonder Woman to put him down, but there's many ways to put him down. Wonder Woman down. Mind reading or mind control is just one facet of that. That wasn't the main argument. But if you wanted to hit him on that, Maxwell Lord is a low-level psychic who had the whole Justice League hemmed up, mind you. Not just Wonder Woman, but he had the whole Justice League, mind you. He's doing this against the Hulk. Like, Professor X doesn't fuck with the Hulk's mind. You feel me? Like, if you say Wonder Woman has more resistance than him, there's an argument to be made right there. If you could bring up number 27, we keep saying boxer, right? But he's able to keep up with Spider-Man, with let's go to Sentry. Oh, actually, no. Let's bring up 47. Let's bring up the big guns.
You said who else?
47. Now, Wonder Woman being on a magic type of heroine, should know her magic tears, right? This is Dormammu. This is Dormammu who he's putting hands on. He's killing Dormammu in the background. And he's asking for more. Stop playing Crusher Creed as if he is just a regular dude with powers. Yeah, he is, maybe. But what is Wonder Woman going to do? All her training, her 3,000 years of training, would not be able to keep up with his absorption, his mind reading, his immortality. Can you actually bring up mortality? If you could bring up number 25.
30 seconds.
Can you bring up the one before this? So this is in the newest issue of the Immortal Hulk. He's fighting the Hulk in this form and not stopping. If you go back to the other issue that you just went past, or you just came from, he is literally going blow for blow with the Hulk. He is the reason why the Hulk looks like a Skinny Bone Jones right now. And then after this, if you could bring up
Finish your point.
number 56, he heals from that and then becomes this pure gamma. Wonder Woman is non-resistant to poison. She could be poisoned. She could get poisoned from the Scarecrow's fear toxin. If he turned into pure gamma and she knocks him into a nuclear building, it's the wrap for Wonder Woman. That is a cancer. Yep.
All right.
Not a cancer.
She becomes Jane Foster.
Damn. Too soon.
So I actually went way too long for the rebuttal. It was actually supposed to be 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I actually went 4. So I'm gonna give you the same amount, which is 4 minutes. All right.
Fair.
Right.
Cool.
So my whole thing about his speech, right? So if a character doesn't do something regularly, right? Because he has ultimate potential, right? Sure, cool, right? He's one shot into Dormammu, that's story arc shit, right? He doesn't do that normally. So you can always talk about the potential, but just like speedsters can be, god level. Like speedsters are OP, Barry's OP, Wally's OP, right? Cool. So to me, like, yes, he fought the Hulk. Yes, he drained the Hulk. But also remember, and Khan, if you want to pull up his same scan he pulled up, right, with the Marvel scale.
What, the grid?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got you.
So by your own admission, your nigga's dumb as rocks. Because you said one being the lowest, he's dumb as fuck. All that 7 is potential. It's not about potential, right? His potential is who he's fighting. Potential don't mean you win. I used to fight in the ring, right? I used to fight in the cage. That doesn't mean I have a lot of potential. Doesn't mean I'm gonna win, right? So just because he can absorb and catch, whatever. So like for example, talking about his IQ, Con, if you pull up that scan from the barbecue.
Scan from the barbecue. Can you give me a number?
It was one of the first ones I sent you. I sent you on the side. That was one that he can't control what he absorbs. When he absorbed the hot dog.
Oh, that's what you sent that one last, bro. I didn't get.
I said that beforehand. Either way, point is, my man said he want to try it. Absorbs a hot dog. How do you take someone seriously who absorbs Oscar Mayer wiener, my nigga? Come on, right? That's his low level shit. So you're talking about all this potential and ability, which I get, but he still can't outdo her skill and her battle skill. So even when he's trying to fight all these things, and you're talking about his levels of strength, if you want to pull up, it would be scan number 24.
Okay. That's scan number 24.
So 20. So maybe then be 25. That's her stopping the space station.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got that when you say it like that. I'm gonna give him a little bit more seconds, y'all, because for some reason his numbers and my numbers ain't aligning. So we're gonna give him a few more seconds. But Meteor, new Superman. Superman. Okay, got you.
So you're talking about raw power, right? Krill's not putting no power like that. Krill at best is 100-ton, using all his abilities. He's not stopping that. He's not doing that. And also, if you look at it from another scale, we're talking about combat ability. Khan would be in the first scan, so I want to say scan number 6 or 7, but that describes Batman naming her the best melee fighter in the DC universe. So all the little scans you have of like, oh, Batman kicked her. Did he break his foot? Did he, like, come on, it's plot, bro. That's like Batman slapping Superman and then be like, oh, look, he slapped him. Bro, that's inconsequential. It's inconsequential because that doesn't scale. So yes, everyone can get caught slipping, but your man, he says it right there, faster than Superman in combat. So yes, Creel can, absorb at a high speed. He's not stopping that. And again, if my man's on remedial, my man's on the short putts. So he's thinking checkers, she's thinking chess. Don't disrespect the battle IQ, man. Come on. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, you want to finish in arguments for this rebuttal round? We got 1 more minute.
I give him credit. Creel has a lot of potential, but potential don't win fights. It's abilities. So that's all I got to say about it.
All right. Cool. All right. So, judges, starting off with Taizuku. He was off screen for a little bit. How you feeling?
Yeah, man. Like, okay, so like,
excuse me.
My problem. Wonder Woman, by the way, can breathe in space. What
you doing?
It was said earlier. I was just tossing that out.
I'll let that slide because.
I
didn't think she couldn't either, though. I just,
Right. I
Just say I didn't know. If she
I didn't accuse anybody of anything. I'm just saying she can.
Okay.
But so like I do think that for me, so far in this argument, I think that a lot of the feats that Absorbing Man has rely on people that, again, are not present in this fight. Him absorbing gamma radiation does not matter at all because gamma radiation is not going to be present. Like, so it's like that doesn't tell me anything. So like I don't, while that's cool, I don't see how that wins him this, and it's like, oh, if Wonder Woman punches him into a nuclear plant, yeah, sure, but like, if she throws him into space, if he drowns her, if Batman shows and kicks her in the gut, it's over. But like, I don't know. I'm not really, I think so far for me, a lot of the argument is hinging on things for Absorbing Man. His arguments are hinging on things that are non-present. And I think for Wonder Woman, there's not enough hard counter to the durability.
Okay. All right. Nikitas, how you feeling?
Yes, I pretty much agree with him. I'm about 50-50, but I marked on my paper that I'm going to give that round to Wonder Woman. I don't see how Wonder Woman's winning the fight, but I also definitely don't see how Absorbing Man's winning the fight. And when we talk about intelligence, yeah, it is checkers to chess. So I think Wonder Woman would be the one to figure it out. If the fight goes long enough, she's going to be like, okay, I know how to get him. But yeah. And the hot dog thing, that's crazy.
Khan has a scan for that.
I heard that. I'm like, that's
Khan has
sad.
a scan for that. I shit you not. I couldn't believe it myself.
Yeah.
I was Googling it on the side. I'm like, that's wild.
He also turns into cocaine. Just FYI.
Yeah, I'm kind of going Wonder Woman now. So y'all still got 1 point each.
All right, so I feel like yeah, I could say what argument is the most convincing, but I do feel as though I will give some leniency on like, as far as like certain scans, like being missed, around or wherever the case may be. But both debaters are doing a really good job. I guess answer the judge's question in your conclusion, which is the next round, and give us a deciding factor. So
you gotta flip a con.
Start off with Ninja. You want to start off?
Sure. You gotta flip us.
All right, let's do it. All right, don't start yet. Let me bring this up real quick. Last one is conclusion. And starting off with our boy Ninja. You got 4 minutes. Let's get it.
Okay, so we're talking about durability, which is a big factor, right? Because again, Creel is going to play checkers. He's going to lean on his power so hard. So eventually, if the battle goes on long enough, Wonder Woman will catch him. It's inevitable, right? Because to think she hasn't fought someone similar to Creel in her universe is unthinkable. She's faced the worst DC has to offer. So, Khan, there's a scan in there. Which one of the first ones where she tanked the entire nuke. Can you pull that one up?
Yes. Got it.
So she tanks the entire nuke herself, no help, no nothing. So we're talking about raw durability. It's something that she brings to the table without question. Now, you want to talk about outlasting Absorbing Man. Yes, again, to make contact, to be that close quarters fighter that she is known to be. But with that comes the battle IQ. So why Creel might try to box her a little bit, because Creel has some interesting feats. He's went toe-to-toe with Black Bolt, right, which is someone who has been trained by Karnak. He's, knocked out Man Bull, which is a 50-tonner, right? And that was in his regular form. But again, he has a cap on his strength. His strength lies in his ability, and his ability is essentially checkers. It's whatever you can do, I can do better. That's it. So all you have to do is think around that problem, which Wonder Woman can do. And you're talking about Again, speed, none of the people I've seen the scans of match the speed Wonder Woman can. So you're talking about like the Sentry. You talked about, what the Silver Surfer or whoever, right? Wonder Woman is at that speed, if not faster, because there's another scan of her keeping up with a speedster con, and that would be, I want to say it's it should be scan 29, I believe, but she kept up with the speedster, and that's without the hack of her running into the Speed Force. So
you already had that. You have this, and then you got this.
Oh, didn't let you, maybe took it out, but that's okay. So even keeping up with Reverse Flash, that raw amount of speed and blindfolded, right? Creel cannot keep up to that level. So he has an ability to he has the ability to do those things. And then think about, someone just mentioned it, about Amazo. What do you think Amazo does? They have to shut Amazo down before he even starts to adapt his abilities and powers. It's like, come on. Creel has, and then you were talking about his mind control, his magic dispelling, turning his arms into blades. Do you think Wonder Woman's never fought any other enemies with similar abilities with those type of weapons? Absolutely. And he's not immortal. He can attach his limbs if he's in his adapted form. But the sword's going to cut that off. That's going to dispel the magic already, because his powers are magic based. He got the drink from Loki. Loki slipped a Mickey in his drink, and all of a sudden he's running around like he's fucking the man around town. Right? She's been born with her abilities, trained with them, blessed with all the weapons. There's no way at the end of the day he's going to come out on top. And they can go toe to toe until the sun goes down. She's fought Superman to the sun and back. Creel's not doing that. And if you ever look up, when you talk about he turned to an island, when he turned to water, Loki had to bail him out because he failed to take out Thor. Nope. Loki had to bail him out. And if you want to talk about, again, another Power Feed 2 con, if you want to look up her fighting their version of Thor. And so that would be...
Got it.
Oh, thank you. So that's their version of Thor. So you say, oh, Azor Man beat Thor. Well, guess what? She did too. Dusted him. Sent him packing. Kick rocks out the back door. So, I mean, again, you can try to, bring the fact that he has the potential, whatever she has, he has, but you're not going to outthink him. Your man's dumber than a bag of rocks. So this is what it is. You're not going to outthink him, or you're not going to outthink her. And all it's going to come down to is, once he either gets tired, absorbs one too many things, you said he can absorb multiple things, cool, right? But and then at the end, if you want to play, want to go blow for blow, once she takes those bracers off, and that's the last scan I sent you, Con. I think you have that one as well, when she goes full God mode. So there's no way he's stopping that. It's just not. Those things hold her back. So he can be like, oh, I'm going to drain you. She didn't have to touch him. She had to be near him. She can send him into orbit. Whatever she wants to do. He's just a one-trick pony. He's very skilled at that one trick. But she's going to ride him around town and send him on his way. That's it.
Time. All right. That was his closing argument. Battle Junkie, it's on you. Bring it on home, brother.
Okay, very easy. I guess this is a misconception from a lack of ignorance on the knowledge of the power grid. But number one is below average. Number two is your basic human. Wonder Woman falls in line in number two. That's me, that's you, that's anybody who's not Peter Parker or T'Challa. That's two. That's human. You can look it up. It's just a basic human. Basic human. You call the regular humans dumb? Nah. You can see like, yo, that shit on her wrist is shiny. I'm a fucking touch it. What's that?
No, I'm just.
On the Marvel grid, if you look up intelligence, 1 is slow and impaired, 2 is normal. That's a regular person. 3 is learned.
T'Challa's intellect is normal. So
No. I didn't say T'Challa was on number 2. I didn't say T'Challa was level 2. I said normal human intellect. Him, Wonder Woman would be on the same page as him because there's not that much education in Themyscira going on. Captain America, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, and then on top of that, then you'll get your Tony Starks and your Peter Parkers on top of that. So compared to them, he's a normal dude. You keep saying chess to checkers. Like, no, it's checkers to checkers with these two motherfuckers. Wonder Woman is not, she's a battle tactician, yes, but I showed you scans where he fights the whole Avengers. If you actually bring up Amazo trashed the Justice League, and Wonder Woman included. She didn't know how to deal with his powers. And you keep, I'll keep starting, the judge keeps saying like, oh, he's using people that's outside of his, we're talking about him versus Wonder Woman. So if she touches him, he could take the strength and speed of Wonder Woman. Point blank. Doesn't touch a building, doesn't need Thor there. If Wonder Woman, you're saying, could hold up that, if she goes to strangle him, punch him, kick him, whatever, then he could hold that shit up. So like, if that's, I don't know why the argument of like, oh, he needs somebody from another, like, no, he's fighting Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman could pull a planet. That means if he touches her, he could pull a planet. You feel me? And I didn't want to bring this up. What's that?
That was
with help. If you could bring up number 53. Shows you a speed. He sneaks up behind the Sentry after he already absorbed his powers. And he could absorb powers without touching. That shows on another stand. I'm not going to get into that too deep. But if you could also bring up 26. 26 shows Sentry trying to overload him with the power of 1 billion suns. There is a little narration on the bottom. No, you can't read it. I sent another scan. Besides the point, narration concludes that he'll be back. It's stating that he's fucking immortal. He's immortal. He's immortal in comics. Like, you can keep saying he's not, but he is. Turning his whole body into her sword. Again, yeah, she's never fought anybody who could turn his whole body into her swords. That means if she tries to attack him in his neck, she can't. That's the only way Wonder Woman would kill a person. Either fucking stabbing him, decapitation. None of that would work on Creel. None of it. None of it would work. Oh, and last I'm gonna close this up. 55. He beats Ultron by scanning his knowledge and absorbing his knowledge. You talking about battle knowledge? It's whatever Wonder Woman knows in her little brain of how to fight, he could then know how to fight and beat an Amazonian. Also, little less fact, if you look up Wonder Woman's weakness, Connor's gonna hate me for this, but if you could look up 39. Wonder Woman's other main weakness, like her kryptonite, is being tied up by men. This is her getting tied up by the Young Justice. If you look up 35, Wonder Woman getting smacked up by, who's that? Not even Batman, it's Batwoman, stating that she was lucky that she doesn't kill her. And then 48. Again, lasso taken from her and choked to death. If she tries to use the lasso on Creel and then he turns into all the properties of her lasso and then holds her hands, she will lose all her powers.
30 seconds.
That's it. All she needs to do is get bounded by a man. If he touches her lasso and then holds her hands, it's a wrap. She's a regular ass woman. But in conclusion, yeah, his ability to touch materials, non-solid materials, and abstract things like knowledge, powers, and bodies, like he did with the Beast, is more than enough to fucking manhandle Wonder Woman, who couldn't handle Amazo. You say that they had to stop her before then? It didn't happen. Amazo killed him.
All right, man. That's all the rounds. That's all the rounds. Y'all feel like that's a cool conclusion? Y'all want to give them a little bonus rebuttal round, or we want to get to the votes? How y'all feeling, judges? Y'all convinced? Y'all got what y'all need.
With absorbing man, like, can he choose what he's gonna absorb, or if it touches him, he becomes that? Nope. So he can choose, like,
not
if you
anymore.
threw something at him.
That was an old weakness. He's overcome that since. And the scans that I showed you that he had multiple things is after he learned how to do it.
Right. And then how long can he hold those scans?
It's kind of unstated. But throughout the whole thing that I was doing my research on, I'd never seen them like press for time. Like, oh, I got to get out of here before something like runs out. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if he's fighting Wonder Woman and she has her lasso or the bracelets, whatever, as long as he's touched it, he could absorb it without even touching it. Like, he could just be in the area and just get the radiation from it. It shows in the Hulk scan when he takes his powers. Not the gamma, he takes the Hulk's powers. The new issue in Immortal Hulk, he's taking the gamma and becoming a pure gamma being, showing you that he can take the powers one time and then take the gamma and become something else another time. Versatility.
Yeah, I agree with Charlie, because I think the problem here that I have is that I feel like different versions of these characters are being used when it's convenient. And it's not really indicative of a complete argument for this character as they are when this fight begins. Because, like, it's hard for me to tell. Like, every version of Wonder Woman is definitely not weak to men tying her up. So every version of Wonder Woman would not be susceptible to that. Every version of Wonder Woman is not susceptible.
He's just shaming her for being freaky. That's all.
Yeah, every version.
That wasn't a main PowerPoint, but yeah, I just threw that in there. Yeah.
But the problem with that not being a main PowerPoint is that I think that's probably the most solid point for your victory for Absorbing Man that you made. Because I think that is the most clear cut point where it's like, boom, he's got her, she can't do anything, boom, that's it. Because this whole time, to me, I'm like, okay, if he's been trapped in space for months, what you're telling me is already the answer is throw him into space. And and if I can throw him into space, I absolutely can throw him into space. Even if he's mimicking Wonder Woman's sword or Wonder Woman's strength or whatever, she can throw him into space.
Can I rebuttal this?
Well, I'm not finished, but yeah, you can. But like, and like, I do think that the issue that I have is that again, Wonder Woman is super duper foldable. So like, I don't think that him taking her strength or powers or anything, I don't even think that's advantageous for him. Like, that might actually work against him. And like, so I think it's very possible that he would take her powers and get yoked up. Like, like, I'm not really even sure that, like, even if their intelligence is on the same level, like human to human, right? I'm not even sure that their approach to combat is even close to the same point, to even think that they would approach combat even close to the same way. And he's got to really start like absorbing shit like automatically. And then like, I think that also she's bloodlusted immediately, which changes the nature of this interaction. Like, I don't think Wonder Woman's gonna sit here and ping kind of fight this guy. I don't think this is gonna be as casual of an interaction as the debate made it out to be.
All right. Let me go ahead and get my shit off. So I think it was a really good debate. I think that points was given on both sides. You guys didn't get a chance to get to all y'all scans. I think that in the future, I might have to stretch the times for the rounds. I mean, people said that 4 minutes would be too long, but apparently not, because when people have a lot of evidence and things that they're trying to reference, they need a little bit of time. I do disagree with Itai Zuku on some of the points that he made, which is okay, throwing him into space. That's never been done before. He's fought, over 100 tonners multiple times, whether that be Thor, whether that be Hulk, whether that be other gods that are super strong. And, that happens in Marvel all the time. Juggernaut's been knocked out outer space. You know what I'm saying? All these characters have, but it's never happened to Crusher Krill. He's only been shot into space by Odin, which if we do comparable feats like Zeus to Odin, you know what I'm saying, from DC to Marvel.
Hey, Thor, just real quick. You just said he got shot into space by Odin. Just real quick. Who brought him back from space?
Loki, but they did it together. They both was out of outer space together.
Just saying.
It's not as if like he was
He
out there.
needed stepdad to come get him.
But he got BFR'd though. He was gone. The fight was over. You know what I'm saying? Like
but what I'm saying is that's the Odin force.
Oh no, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the Odin force. Odin is one of the most omnipotent, most powerful characters in all of Marvel. So unless we're talking about extremely powerful magical abilities like Odin that's shooting him into another dimension or into outer space the way that Odin did, I don't see that happening in a brawl with somebody like Wonder Woman personally, because it could have happened with Thor, it could have happened with Hulk, it could have happened with other 100-tonner fighters that Crusher Krill has fought, and it never did. So that's one point I want to bring up. The other point was when he said that, okay, if it's bloodlusted and Wonder Woman goes straight in for the kill, okay, just like Battle Junkies brought up the first round, if his abilities is right on contact, if I absorb whatever it is that you're hitting me right on contact, you can't one-shot me. Unless you're trying to say like she does it without her weapon. Wonder Woman.
Okay, so can I bring this up?
I'll let everybody else talk. I can't talk.
Bad, go ahead. My bad, go ahead.
Talk your shit.
So all I was saying is like, if it happens instantaneously, that's like saying, oh, I'll one-shot Wolverine and he heals automatically. You know what I'm saying? Like, can it happen when he gets concussions? Yeah, but we talking about different ability. Absorption Man, when he gets hit by a material, he automatically becomes that material. Now, I can see from Ninja's perspective where he's saying that she's the smarter tactician. We didn't really see too many scans from Battle Junkies to negate that she's not the better tactician. So I can say that with a wider variety of fights that Wonder Woman has, I can see that she can see that ability and work it to her advantage. But the one-shot conversation is the one that I'm just not adhering to. But that's my points as a judge. And I don't
think there'd be any one-shots. I don't think if I gave across the impression that there'd be a one-shot, I don't think that at all.
Got you. So do we want to get into
okay, can I address the game thrown into space real quick? Because that was like a theme prior to or like right after his first appearance.
Or y'all want to go into the vote? Which y'all
I just want to address this one thing, game thrown into space. Because after he gets thrown into space, when he comes down, Loki enhances his abilities. That's when he learns how to fly. So yeah, he can fly back. It's not a problem. So getting thrown into space, like that's cool. Like he'll fly right back. He's fought stronger people than fucking.
Wonder Woman. I just saw some comments that says add a round for clarification. Do y'all want to do that, or do y'all want to go ahead and go into the?
I'm good. I got one last thing, and I think it goes to the scan he showed about fighting Sentry. So if he got snatched up by Sentry, let's just say he snatched him up. He didn't absorb Sentry. Sentry overloaded him and sent him back to the gulag. Right, he's gone. No respawn, or he'll be back.
No. That's not. Yeah. Showing his immortality. Yeah.
So in the meantime, where he at? In the gulag. It means he lost.
But
he took an L. He needed to take a power nap to come back.
So his absorption is from 0 to 1 billion glowing stars, and then he came back after that. Show me what Wonder Woman could do that.
So I'm just saying. So if Wonder Woman snatched him by the neck, and let's just say, because
with energy projection.
Hold on.
Okay.
She snatched him by the neck. In that same scan, he was still human, right? His ball and chain was gone. So she did the exact same thing and lopped his head off. He'll be back. ...
No. You misinterpret the scan. He was already absorbed with Sentry's ability. That's why he was able to fly with him.
Right,
Sentry grabbed him, and then he implored more. No, he implored all 100 exploding suns abilities onto him, and he couldn't absorb it all at once.
But
I have a later stand. I have a later stand. No. I have a later stand when he does a rematch with him, and he says, "I learned to absorb your ability slower," and then he rocks the nigga. So if you wanted to call 1 feet and then don't call the power that he improves on.
So I'm saying if he had to take a little nappy poo after getting beat up, he took the L.
Show me when Wonder Woman could regen as fast as Absorbing Man.
Wonder Woman going to snatched up like that to get Homer Simpson.
Didn't I not show you Batwoman snatching her ass up?
Oh yeah, because just like Batman.
Batwoman, bro. Batwoman. Again, Dormammu. Hey, how about we bring up the scam where 52 when he absorbed the cosmic cube and he ripped Sentry and the Void in half.
Again, we're talking about potential.
Okay, if we're talking about potential,
well, I'm talking
anything
about
that Wonder Woman could do, he can do more. So again, if anything Wonder Woman could do, he could do better. Again, if she tries to stab him with that
kindergarten.
That's hard.
All right, man. All right.
I'm sorry, that's how his powers work. But again, if she tries to stab him with a sword and he makes sword hands and he stabs her back, who's going to lose that matchup?
All right, so we'll start out. I think we ready. Are we ready for deliberation, or do the judges need anything extra?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, Nikitas, it's on you, my brother.
All right, yeah, so I'm giving it to Absorbing Man.
Can you give us the rounds?
So I had first round going to Absorbing Man, second round I had for Wonder Woman, and then final conclusion round I had going to Absorbing Man, just because it seems like it's just going to be a battle of attrition. And I think when it comes to attrition, he's definitely going to hold on longer than Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Itaizuku.
So I'm going to give it to Absorbing Man. I got first round Wonder Woman. Second round Absorbing Man. I think that she's probably a better fighter than him. I think that she's probably smarter than him. I think that she could probably outsmart him. I think that she probably won't have time to. I think that like him fighting the Avengers and stuff is probably more due to him being chaotic and like really powerful and tanky than him being like the master strategist. You know, it's the fact that he's as tall as this building and smacking niggas around and got 8 different shits going on his body, you know. And really, I think that it's easy to underestimate a character like this and think that, oh, he's just going to do one thing at a time, when in reality, he could be flipping through a bunch of different elements and absorbing a bunch of different shit and really hitting you with some bullshit. He could really be turning into like air. He could be turning into dust. He could be turning into rock, metal, anything that you're touching, stealing your powers. He could really be fucking her up. And by the time she figures something out, she probably won't have enough energy to do something, unless you gave her her most busted composite kit that you could possibly think of. That's like you would have to just give her like you would have to have come with like her craziest loadout at the beginning of this debate.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I did not see that coming. I actually thought that from what Itaizuku was saying, I thought that he was going to go Wonder Woman and embrace her.
Appreciate you.
So I don't want a 3-0, my nigga. I don't think you should get 3-0. Oh.
No, it's all good. It is what it is.
Are you sure?
If I didn't make a good argument this day.
It's not about the argument. It's not about the argument. I just feel as though I think you did a good argument. That's not the problem. The problem is I'm battling with myself rather than if I want to be genuine or disingenuous. And the genuine part is when I think about this fight is location matters like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And because location matters, it's like it matters because of Wonder Woman, not because it matters for Absorption Man. So it's like anywhere she fights this dude, it's gonna be his playground. Doesn't matter where it is. If they fight in the desert just to make it fair, because that's what people do to make fights fair. He would have the desert. He could become the body of the desert. So it's like when you have powers like abilities like that, it's hard to not be overwhelmed. And I'm not saying Wonder Woman gets easily overwhelmed, but when you have powers like that, it's like, what can she do to combat all of that? You know what I'm saying? What happens when he becomes the whole desert and tries to engulf her? You know what I'm saying? The only way that you could basically take her down, like he said, like Taizuka said, let's say that the space thing is a fair thing. That is her having to put him in space versus when the fight first starts, it's already in his favor, from my opinion. Now, if we go, if I'm being disingenuous, I would say, and I'm not saying it's disingenuous, but it's like me not giving a vote that favors, Absorption Man. If I'm saying like to be a fair judge, let's see, Ninja convinced me for Wonder Woman. I don't know what NGL means.
Not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie. I feel as though the only big advantage that we literally, I think all three judges and everybody agreed. I don't even think Battle Junkie disagreed with you. Was that Wonder Woman is the better tactician, which makes it a better fight.
I agreed with that until he said that he could take their like mental.
Yeah, and see, and then that too.
Like if he does that to her, then that really doesn't give her upper hand at all. So it's just about attrition.
And that's a counter. So it's like, yeah, I can see her being a better tactician, but then again, Absorption Man could take that ability if he touches her, and because she is like, unfortunately, what Battle Junkies brought up, which is that she really only has her TR as a long range weapon. So if she has to be up close, and this is what Absorption Man do, he's going to get contact. That's all he needs. He wants you to touch him. You know what I'm saying? He's a pervert. He wants you to touch him. Then it's like he's gonna he's gonna take that ability. He's gonna take your smarts. He's gonna take your tactics. He's gonna take all that shit and possibly win. So I think just based off of hacks, he takes the dub.
It's what it is. I mean, it's valuable arguments too. So I mean, I like it. It was good. It was fun.
Yes, I didn't know anything about this. Too, now I didn't know anything about him, but yeah, I think he wins.
Now I just want to say, because the debate's over, right? We've decided that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The debate's over. I guess we got to go ahead.
Okay, now y'all know Wonder Woman smashes this nigga, right?
Oh yeah.
So where did you go?
Because that wasn't part of the debate. The points that would make Wonder Woman destroy this guy were not part of the debate. Wonder Woman got like planetary punches, nigga. Like what? Like this nigga would turn into her sword and she would rock this nigga. Are you kidding me? She punches harder than her sword hits, nigga.
I said that.
But wouldn't he already have that?
But if her sword is unbreakable, like
you can be unbreakable, nigga, and you can still get hit, and that shit'll hurt. You just won't be broke at the end. That shit just gonna hurt. You still gonna get hit with the force of a planet.
That's fine. I think he's depending on the material.
Right? Like we talking about Odin, I put myself up. Hold on. But I guess this is just a discussion. This the aftermath of the debate.
Yeah, look, y'all remember in the Tournament of Power when Jiren at first he was standing still and like Jiren was just like taking the punches, right? He was just eating them. Now we all know they punch way harder than fucking
comic characters.
Yeah, they punch way harder than that shit. Okay, now he's just taking these punches to the face. Now, even though he was taking those punches to the face and tanking it, eventually throughout the fight, you notice near the end of the Tournament of Power, when they started doing that, he started fighting back. At first, he was taking them, and then he started like, hell nah, I'm throwing punches back. It's because you still getting hit with a planet level punch. Like you might think that, but you got a life bar, and that life bar is moving. You know, like you're still taking some damage.
Yeah, you're still chipping off damage easy.
Yeah, like you're not. It's just not knocking you down.
And the other thing, I think about now as an ability or the armor, which I was going off of like base Wonder Woman. I forgot she has the Golden Eagle armor, which I was like, I mean, to me, the way I look at it is if a character uses something like once or twice, to me that's not really an ability or weapon they never use. That's just, again, it's just a one shot. So even like I give respect to Zordman, like he one shot Dormammu and all shit. I mean, to me that's just plot. That doesn't add to the actual character's value, in my opinion. But that's something that she's used that maybe I could have added, but you know.
So for it's hard because he's not a mainstay character. Like I picked a dude who's a C-level character, a criminal. At that, they don't write Pressure Creed comics. You feel me? Like he's always featured in somebody's comics, and when they feature him, he's used as a Deus Ex Machina. He's used as a plot device. Yeah. So that time when he goes in there to Dormammu, he's still using his base speech, but they're just using it in a way that they could write. When he's in there, he's fighting the mindless ones. He fights hordes of them, right? And then he gets up to Dormammu. He starts absorbing Dormammu's dark energy, which has been consistent with him absorbing Scarlet Witch's energy, and been consistent with him absorbing all of Black Bolt's
bring up that skin, bro. I was waiting for you to bring up that skin, the Scarlet Witch.
We can bring that up. 42.
I mean,
you want to bring that up just to show you. But like, he's a plot device. That's why I said when he appears on the comic books, it's hard for the writers to get him off the screen because they don't know how to get rid of him. So right now he's playing pseudo anti-hero in the Immortal Hulk. So he could buy time for him and his wife. All side part. That's how to get rid of him. Like, keep him distracted. But there's been countless scans, even from Odin, saying this dude had more ambition and he wanted to take over do some fucking damage to the universe. He can.
Yeah, potential wise, he's similar to a Mazo for sure. I mean, my only but everything I read when I was standing up on him, everyone's okey doped him because his IQ was so low. Like the one guy,
that's how they ran him off.
Yeah,
shit, here come that man.
Oh, I was just here for the
Hey
y'all. That was fun as hell. I enjoyed that. Like that was fun.
Why you look like a Kermit meme, bro?
You want to do this right now? Do you want to do this right now? We doing this right now? Greg, you don't want that right now. We'll talk after the fact. But it was dope though. It was dope. Yeah. Y'all, that was really dope because and before this fight started, I think I talked with Comment beforehand, and I thought I was absorbing man with no difficulty, and then that was like the fact that I got swayed a whole other way with more information coming in, and still I can understand both sides. Like I just know definite when I hear. I'm one of the people that believe when it comes to comic debates, you got to choose one version because then you just pick the weakest parts of whatever run it was, where Superman gets smacked in one hit or whatever else it is. But that was dope though. I enjoyed that. Y'all did great.
Let me so to add my point. Again, I disagree with Itai Zuko. I think that I would have voted Absorption Man, obviously based on the argument, but based off of if it was outside the argument, I would have chose Absorption Man if me and Itai Zuko was having a conversation. Based on the fact of like he said, okay, she has Earth, she can shatter a planet type strength. First of all, we've never seen her do that. I'm just factuals. Never seen Wonder Woman do that. It is stated. It's never fucking happened. And when she pulled the Earth, she's never done it by herself. So planetary strength is not.
I mentioned that. No, it was consistent.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. And then two, if we're going like composite, like the way I gave both opponents to go composite, is that if we talking about planetary strength, Thor is planetary strength. When he's just arm wrestling Hercules, they're shattering planets. Like they're shattering just an arm wrestle. That's not them, you feel me, throwing blows or none of that. That's an arm wrestle.
Thor's
so if you're saying that he can take out Thor, then why are we saying off top, oh yeah, just Wonder Woman can boop boop, and it's not gonna happen like that, especially this man's first fight. The first fight this man has ever had is at the top tier Odin. That's not, he didn't start off fighting Captain America. He didn't first start off fighting none of those street tier characters. He started off with Odin. And Odin said, I understand that we say, oh, we can just throw him in space. But Odin said, I can't keep fighting this nigga. I gotta banish him, because if I keep fighting him, I don't know how this is gonna look. So instead of me keep fighting you, I'm gonna just throw you out the way, because I don't know how this is gonna look. I ain't had a fight like this in a minute. And even with characters like Thor that we know has been OP throughout the comics, he hasn't brought that type of fight to Thor. Thor has literally like, bro, I'll bless you with that power, I'll take it back, and slapped him around a couple of times. So it's like, and we're talking, when I say Thor, I'm saying, I'm not trying to knock him down, but we all know Thor is OP. So the fact that Odin can do that to Thor, but couldn't do that to Krill, it says a lot about his character. Rather not if he's written like that or in comics like that, you got to give credit where it's due. Me personally, I love underdog type characters. Like me and Ju gonna have a debate about Cheshire versus Hawkeye. Obviously, Hawkeye is the most popular character, and you don't have a lot of Cheshire comics. But if you were to know her for her feats and not just for her popularity, then there's an argument to be had. The same way that we've got Wonder Woman versus Krill. So that's my gist, man.
I will say though, Krill gets like overwhelmed a lot when it comes to absorbing shit. Like even in that one issue you brought up from Immortal Hulk, I think previous in that issue, he like literally died, and the one below had to bring him back to life because he got overloaded from gamma radiation. I could be wrong. He literally devil to bring him back to life from hell, so he died.
You're right, but it was a plot from the devil in the first place to have him absorb all the other gamma people, so like Abomination and shit. So he had that, and then when he fought the Immortal Hulk, that's when he let loose. The scan that I showed of him turning into pure gamma was after he reformed, but he was gonna come back to life regardless of the devil jumping in or not. The devil was using him as a plot to use him to get into the actual world. But whether the devil was there or not, he would have reformed.
But I think that plays into Zuko's his point though earlier, where most of the times when you see Krill at his most broken, it's through the assistance of other outside forces, and usually the most powerful forces possible. Whenever he's in like a regular fight with the Hulk, he usually loses after a while, because we already know how like Hulk is stronger, but that's probably not the best comparison. But usually dude loses first. Like you brought it up with the Sentry thing. He usually has to lose fights first to come back and win later. Usually on his first time fighting somebody, he loses, and he builds up that knowledge and wouldn't
that contribute to his battle IQ?
It would for people that he's already fought, though. I don't know, like if it's like a best of 4, I can see your point when that one being a little bit more. But like on the first encounter with no knowledge of each other, I can see him losing that first fight and then maybe win later on.
Yeah,
the opposite. Yeah.
Well, like again, like I think the issue becomes the environment, in the sense where it's like, okay, does he even have access to all of this stuff? It's like, yeah, he can absorb XYZ, and if Loki's there to give him XYZ, he can do this too. And if he's near this person, they can bless him also. But like if he doesn't have that, it's like that's a different scenario. Right. That's a good point, right? But the thing is, the argument and the scans weren't based off of that. The argument was based off of things that weren't Wonder Woman.
He did. He said that. He literally said that.
No. All of the most of the big scans that were shown involve shit that's, again, is just not going to be present.
I see what you're saying. It wasn't tailored for Wonder Woman. I get what you're saying.
Exactly. It wasn't at all. And I don't know, like, yeah, but like, what is, like, if if he absorbs the bracers and the lassos, then she doesn't like. We were criticizing her the whole time for not having projectiles. So like, the main function is to block projectiles. So what's the purpose? What does he gain from that?
And even with those things, like at a certain point with a certain strength level, they don't mean shit. Like we've seen her use those on Superman or people of that level a lot, and they just like shrug that shit off. And she's of that strength, so I'd like to think she still shrugged that shit off. If
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's not really. He wouldn't really be gaining anything from taking that from her. It's like he'd be taking it from her, yeah, but like she would be like, oh yeah, this I'm very familiar with that, A, and B, it's not effective against me, and I can still do it too.
Right. So if he's getting weakened from absorbing her shit, and then the main argument is the environment, and we're putting him in a neutral place like the desert. In a desert, depending on the desert, there's not that many things to fucking absorb outside of like stone, sand, things that she's going to punch.
I mean, if he becomes sand, though.
But then,
like, she doesn't know she's like,
does his abilities work like on some Sandman shit where he gets pushed again? It doesn't. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm saying like if he's in the desert, she won't even know where he's at. Like she stabs the sand, he could be behind her and stab straight through her with her own sword.
But she still has her heightened abilities and senses as well. So. I mean,
that he also has.
Right. But I'm saying, if he is like you said, absorbing the island and all, when it's a large landmass, he loses consciousness, he gets dumber, right? Because he's so spread out over such a large landmass. So he have to be something more centralized, like a building, like, maybe a small mountain, things that Wonder Woman can crash through, right?
And even that being said, I don't think that gives him more durability, but I don't think that gives him enough firepower to take her out if he's just sand. Like he could
be multiple things. So she strikes the sand with her sword and catches his foot. That was that sand. He now has her sword strength as well. So he could just stab her back.
But then
she's not stronger than her own weapons. Like hers,
exactly.
Her body.
So I think out of the big
every time.
There's definitely been times where Wonder Woman has fought with Nubia and all kinds of shit, like magical shit, plenty of times. Like she's trained with gods. It's not like she's gonna see someone with a magical sword and be like, oh God, I've never, she's not gonna fall apart when that happens. But that's the first thing. But like the next thing is that like the whole thing with like him taking the lasso's power. You know how many fucking people that is like the fucking first thing. So many Wonder Woman villains are like, oh, I'm gonna take your lasso and use it on you, and she's always like, oh no, my lasso's working on. Like, like that's like. Don't do that. That's like dumb. That's not a clever move to try that.
I think y'all are gassing our weapons.
So my only real quick, because I know what Battle Junkie is going to say, but at least I think, like he said before, he brought up the skin, and that's one of my only points that I took away. I didn't knock nobody for like what they didn't do, unlike Aizuku did and shit, which I'm not knocking him for. He should have. He's a judge. But one of the things in my mind, mental note, even though I had Battle Junkies up, I told him how I felt about the scan even when he first brought it up, which is, why the fuck are you bringing up when she can be bound by a man? Like, we all know, that this is not feasible.
He's shaming her.
But
he came there for being freaky.
He wanted it that bad. He was like, "Look,
I like his point because that
unless you can show me a scan where it didn't work." It applies to the debate. So as a debater, I had to like, okay, that's what you want. Okay.
Like I said, like one of the judges said, when the first thing that the bad guy does is take her fucking lasso. You say, oh my God. Well,
we're talking about like,
you don't have to necessarily state like, oh, she gets it. But I mean, I just threw that out there just as another point of attack. But my whole thing is back to the whole sword thing. Again, because I think you guys are underestimating this ability. Again, especially against a melee fighter like Wonder Woman. If he touches her sword and becomes full solid thing of God's forged metal, right? How does she then kill him? With her sword? She's gonna stab her sword.
She's just gonna be like Zorro. She's gonna fucking
that fucking metal man made out of salt. It's fucking demi metal. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? It's eighth metal, whatever the shit is made out of. Her braces of submission, unbreakable. If she tries to stab that, what happens? Nothing to him. Then he could turn his hands into fucking Edward Scissorhands hands and chop her ass up.
Do you think she would stand there and get chopped up though? Like, come on.
I don't think so, but I think it'll be like a long drawn out.
So kind of like Nick said, it would be like rock paper scissors, in durability and attrition. But I still think she still has enough to. I mean, you personally.
No. Okay, so let me ask you.
She has a shield, by the way, bro. Like, she can literally just block. Like, you keep saying that like she's just gonna like completely fold. Like, she can literally just block.
I think you're gassing the strength of the sword too, because she used that sword on a lot of people of that strength level, and it doesn't do shit for them. And on top of that, you look at something like vibranium in that universe where that cap shield is like nigh unbreakable all the fucking time because it can absorb kinetic energy. But you've seen on multiple occasions, it can only take so much. If somebody hits it hard enough, that shit breaks on multiple occasions. Like that sword, if she hits that shit hard enough, like she is on par with hidden like Superman and people of that caliber of like strength feats, that shit's gonna break if she hits it hard enough. It's not unbreakable.
But then he just reforms his arm.
Wonder Woman,
but that goes to your point of like it being an automatic KO. It's not though. Like she can still get through that relatively.
Oh, I'm not saying it's gonna be automatic. I think she's gonna dance around. I think he's gonna catch her after she's
gonna last a long time, but he's gonna win.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a long drawn out battle. But like I said, if he takes her thing, there's not much that she could do to him that he can't do to her.
Oh, that's the one.
And it just takes a misstep. And somebody's fighting for a long time. He takes stamina. He's stamina drains. Like
that intelligence feat was kind of nasty. I ain't gonna lie. Normal intelligence is kind of nasty because on that island they make it a point for her to train and like she's trained to be a scholar on that island. That's part of like the training of being an Amazonian. They teach you shit like you're going through a school that you're getting intelligence and plus.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he said like she's like number 2.
Yeah, I was like that's kind of nasty.
Yeah, maybe in social like ice cream, like they mentioned ice cream shops and probably Instagram. How do you use this? But that doesn't mean she doesn't know.
Battle IQ is on there.
True, but then battle experience goes over that though, because she's how old?
Yeah.
And how many?
3,000.
And then on top of that, we talked about Amazo earlier. She's fought somebody with similar abilities like Amazo before in the past. She could beat Amazo, but she's seen that before. So now you have her with a knowledge of a similar ability. She has like hundreds of thousands of years of battle experience. And her weapons that he's going to absorb aren't going to put her down immediately or at all. I think the durability is crazy, but I think she have enough time to figure that shit out. But that's just me though.
So my question is like this, and this is why, and this is the biggest reason why I gave Absorption Man the battle, because I really, by the second round, I tell you the card that I gave Ninja. I gave him the second round. Second round goes into his favor. Now, that's the round when I started to get convinced. Like in Nikitas, I was 50-50 at that point. It was at the conclusion where I was like, okay, I can see whose argument kind of fell through. Now, with that point, right? Because I even asked before we got into that point of the battle, I said, answer y'all judges' questions. I don't think that y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, if y'all heard something different, but I didn't hear what was it that Wonder Woman was capable of that could counter whatever it was that Absorption Man could have absorbed. You feel what I'm saying? Or I didn't hear the tactic put in the conversation of, okay, well, if he's doing this, then Wonder Woman can just do this, or her plan would be this. Yeah. And once she plans out doing that, then what can Absorption Man do? Never did that conversation come to that point. So to me, it sounded like Wonder Woman was always on the back foot. But it sounds like from Itai, Zuko, and Logan
that's a solid.
Y'all think that's going to be opposite, where Absorption Man is going to be on the back foot because she's going to constantly be bringing it to him, and he's going to be constantly looking for something to absorb. Am I wrong?
No. So I think that the thing is that he's capable of absorbing so many things, right? It's not that that he will have to, it's that he can. So like, you know, that's the problem for her, is that like he does, I don't know, like this isn't the kind of character that we see like animated and stuff too often. So it's like I don't know what it's like seeing him in real time, you know, but it's like, you know, seeing how quickly he could change, theoretically he could change pretty quickly, and that would be a problem for her. But I do, yeah, right. And this is what I'm saying. It's like he does have access to her knowledge, but is he going to do that? Is he going to be like, oh, I'm going to access her thoughts right now? And like, no, he's not necessarily going to do that. He's not going to do everything that he's ever done right in the first 2 seconds that they see each other. We gotta you know, parse it out here. Like, you know, and so like I think that like she can have a lot more of a casual experience with him than the argument is letting on. I think the argument makes it sound like this is a much more lethal scenario immediately for her than it is. Like, you know, with as fast as she is and as strong as she is, she could really fight this nigga for a minute without being like, oh, this is super duper serious. Especially because she can cover some distance like really quickly. So like, I mean, like she could really turn things to her favor like at a moment's notice. And this is one of those fights that I think that it's the environment really matters, the writing really matters. I think that the kit that you give them matters so much. I think if they have knowledge of each other, like the context of how they've gotten here in this fight really matters. Because like I don't think that she has a hard counter to him, but I don't think that he has anything that's like a super hard counter to her either, though. Like I think he has things that are strong and threatening, but like, you know, at the end of the day, this character to me, he's a battlefield removal character. He's like Doomsday, or like Darkseid. You don't really kill him. You just get him the fuck out of there for the day. And you know, it's like, I don't know. It was like there's any number of ways she could get you the fuck out of there for the day, but it just depends on where they are.
So I have a question really quickly on that one, because
please,
we've talked about the materials and shit and absorbing it a lot now. So like to Logan's point earlier, if the sword is something that can be punched through, and we know the tiara and the band braces are also something that's like not like crazy. It's not too crazy to say she can punch and do damage with that. If those are the things that he's absorbing and she can still punch and do damage, and we know she's punching through like regular stone, she's punching through regular materials on the earth, what can he absorb that's not going to allow him to take a lot of damage from her just hitting him really hard?
He answered that. He literally answered
I
that.
I didn't hear. My bad. What was that?
No, I'm just saying, like, her weapons is something that she would not be able to easily damage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can she beam it up a little bit? Yeah, she could. Yeah. But you talking about a dude on base. Base is taking punches from Thor and taking punches from Luke, which is, you know what I'm saying? If you know, what do you call that? Striking power versus actual lifting strength. He strikes. His power strength is ridiculous. You know, Luke Cage's power strength is ridiculous. On top of so is Thor. So he's taking those type of punches in his base form. That's not
he's taking the Wonder Woman type of punches.
Anything. And with that being said, even when he's just in a rock form, he takes hits from Mjolnir and everything like that, and he doesn't break. So it's like, even if you say, oh yeah, if he turns into stone and Wonder Woman can break stone, okay, yeah, but this ain't no regular stone. This is a man who is blessed with the magical powers of a god. So it doesn't just break off because Wonder Woman,
for the record, he wasn't blessed. He got roofied.
He
That
actually
nigga got roofied.
he actually endures the
Where-
effects
where-
So then,
more
then
than
my,
it is the material. But
my
go
question
ahead,
is, why does he get beat so often then in like those first encounters?
Because he's stupid.
Because he gets beat a lot
Writing-
in his first encounters though. So we're
Writing-
saying all this, but like we're looking at usually he's thrown in, even in animated stuff, comic stuff, usually thrown in because he's like, oh, a more difficult person to fight because he absorbs shit. But he's usually beaten, not easily all the time, but he gets beaten a lot.
So his first encounter with Thor could change the fucking the chemicals or whatever and turn the ground into helium. So he absorbed helium and floated off.
Right.
Like that's the type of Deus Ex Machina we're talking about to get rid of this type of character, and he comes back. But again, like, so my opponent brought up like him getting overwhelmed by Sentry, right?
Mhm.
But in other occasions, he absorbs the cosmic cube. So he's anywhere from cosmic cube level to a
that's
million
fine.
blowing up suns. Hold on. Well, you can't. Any story with him is probably going to be considered plot to you because he's a side character featured in a sideline. So the thing that they're going to bring him in for,
the
is, like I said,
but, like, when it's that God level, like Batman tricked the devil or whatever, like, cool. That's
but this is his power, and what he's limited to is what he has access to.
It's like
So if you
Dragon
gave him-
Ball. Like when the chips are down, oh, you get a new ability. Yeah, like come on.
No, it's like if he's near the Infinity Stones, then yeah, he could become the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, how often does he come in contact with those objects and those types of materials? It's not too often. But in a fight where she's not seen without her sword, and she's not seen without her lasso, she's not seen without her boots and her fucking, she's gonna bring all that. She's gonna use it all on him, and he's gonna be able to take those divinity, God forged weapons and become that. Yeah, so if he
one of my
becomes,
arguments was that I had in Wonder Woman's favor, but that's me as a debater, not him as a debater. Zeus and Odin are the two one of the most omnipotent people in they both verses, right? So the fact that Odin was just able to banish this motherfucker, I'm
That's
pretty
fine.
sure everybody knows that Zeus, the god, the father of Diana, he is always protecting her. Like even when Diana fought Doomsday, the essence of Zeus came down and stopped. I mean, excuse me, not Doomsday, Darkseid. The essence of Zeus came out and stopped Darkseid. So it's like, if I was in a debate, I would bring up every fucking thing I can that would counter or be a little extra something in some pocket sand, if you will. You feel me? Like,
there's no
But to me,
Wonder Woman
again,
in
that's
Marvel.
a life preserver to me. So when I saw those things, I was like, again, this is just me. If they don't do them regularly, if they don't use those abilities or whatever, to me, it's just for story.
I'm surprised
that's
that's
the thing, it's happened multiple times in comics. It's happened
It's
just
just his
like
power. So you're saying like,
just like when it comes to Samurai Jack, he has the power of his ancestors. When he gets into a bind, he can literally, his ancestors be like, oh, not my grandson, not my nephew. And they get him and they make sure they put something down there or bless him with something and be like, nah, not today. And so that is in your arsenal. It's not cheap to say this is a thing. Now, if it's a one-time comic where, okay, like for example,
when she fought the Batman who laughs and like
right, shit like that. If it's shit like that, where it's like something completely outside this person's kit, then it's like, okay, I get it. But that's part of her. That is literally a part of her character. She is blessed by the gods, and Zeus is always protecting her. When she's at her downfall and she's like at her last draw, and she don't have all the rest of the Justice League, Zeus is like, not my baby.
But how could Zeus protect her?
She could call her Sky Daddy.
Yeah,
How does Zeus protect her though?
I don't know, but I just Googled and I found out that one time Daredevil beat Absorbing Man with his own ball and chain and the butt of a revolver. So I
battle experience. That's all I got to say. Battle experience.
No. If you, I have that scan. if you bring up that scan, Daredevil says that he had to escape by going with his ball and chain. And so again, plot device, the hero had to win. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, you
23. 23. So if you look up 23, read what it says. It said he barely escaped by going with the motion of his.
I can't read that.
Hold on, I got you. Hold on.
Grab his ball and chain and smack him with that shit. That is hilarious.
But again, nobody addressed the scan where I sent the dude shooting Wonder Woman with the basic ass hunting rifle, right?
That's cool.
But battle experience.
Yeah,
but
we don't see that happen consistently. We see Creo lose in ways like that.
He's a bad guy in a superhero comic book. But like, what do you want him to win?
No,
he's not going to win. They're going to write some stupid shit.
I mean, you want him to win. So I'm saying like I need to know why getting bumped in the head is not a viable option for him because
what was that you said earlier? Like you said that if he becomes that material, it's different. He got hit with that same material, probably not even as hard, and it hurt him there.
Izuku said he got bonked like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, like why? Like
roll with the blow.
It seems like the blow will only increase
your chance. Well, it says rolling with the blow will only increase your chance of survival and your threshold for pain, assuming you don't pass out. That's literally what he says.
And that's some basic.
So he was beating
Daredevil did, right? Like some basic fundamental level boxing shit that he did.
Yeah, Daredevil was like, my daddy showed me this.
There we go.
Daredevil played ECW rules, bro. He brought out the ball and chain, the chair, the tables.
Yeah.
It's not that Absorbing Man loses. It's just that he loses like that a lot.
Yeah, he gets okey doked
a lot. And I think
he's written as a dude who robs the bank, so they have to write him out. But the writers made him fucking OP.
I think that's all on writing.
That's the point.
That's literally on writing. Like if you take the dude and put him in any other best case scenario that he's been in, like then he wins like all the fucking time. Like they brought him into Axis of Evil. He destroyed a fucking a Stark Sentinel, which is coated in adamantium.
Right.
He was like.
But all these things that you're stating though are like one-off things in very particular.
That's all he appears for. That's literally all he appears for. He doesn't have a Wonder Woman run.
I can only go off of what we have for him of a majority, and majority of what we have of him, he loses like that.
But you're disregarding the other side because you're saying it's a one-off.
Because if
you're disregarding the high feats, but then you're like, look at these low feats. He does it all the time. But then when he appears, it's already as a peak.
But if I count.
You're arguing consistency versus somebody who doesn't get consistent writing. So you can't sit here.
Exactly.
The reason why
he's written as a low tier character that keeps up with God.
Can I talk? The reason why debates work is because you take out the form of plot armor. Writing and plot armor is no longer a safety net for a character. So you literally have to take one resume, put them motherfuckers together, compare them, and go, okay, I think this person's better for the job, or this person's going to win. So when you take sheet to sheet, yeah, you can bring feats and all that shit. You can do all that. You do those comparable feats, and you do those comparable scans, you do those comparable powers, and you can say unbiasedly, oh, this person is going to win. And that's why I can say Absorption Man wins based off of the unbiased of his consistency. Yeah, he may not consistently do these OP things, but the fact that he is capable, the fact that he has shown that he can do it, the fact that it is consistent, that he has overwhelmed characters that he should not be able to over. He didn't bring up all the scans that motherfucking. Hold on, where's the scan that he was bigger than a fucking planet? What scan is that?
I feel like you're right and you're wrong though, because like
what?
What you're saying, I think is completely correct. I just think that the conclusion that you're drawing is like, I think the conclusion here then is that this isn't a good matchup, because then these characters don't have the same kind of material to draw from. Right. Because I feel like to include to make a good match for Absorbing Man, basically, it sounds like if you include the way that he appears most of the time, he's a jobber. So you have to include the far out times where he's been turned into this crazy threat that may or may not even be canon anymore, or, you know, turn him into this like composite character of all these times where he did this thing, but at the same time not grant that to the character that he's going against.
Right.
So
That's
can
the
I,
point. Is
so
that
the
you're not
reason
keeping
why
that,
I
you're not keeping that same
disagree,
energy.
because like you said, you're talking about a villain versus a hero. Now the reason why it's like, okay, what are you saying, Con? When it comes to other villains, OPS niggas, Dormammu, fucking, I might not pronounce that correctly, Dormammu,
Dormammu.
Odin, you know what I'm saying? All these villains that are top,
Apocalypse.
he's beating them, bro. So
But
it's like, how do you go from, okay, you can beat Dormammu, you can be on par with Odin to the point that you're on par, basically, literally it's a draw. Odin couldn't find a way to beat you, so he literally just banished you. When you have those type of conversations, then it's like, then why wouldn't he be able to bring that same fight to Wonder Woman?
But this,
No. But that's what I'm saying. You're misinterpreting, right? Like the question isn't why can't he bring those scans? The question is, why shouldn't Wonder Woman also be able to use all of her crazy one-off?
like you're neutering her and boosting him. If you're keeping that same energy and going off of like all those different things, because like to your point, she's been around longer and had a lot more issues, and in a lot of issues, she's beaten Superman on with different varying levels of ease. She's beaten high level dudes with different varying levels of ease. So if you're bringing that in, to me, that immediately puts her over him, because he's beating dudes that you wouldn't say he's beating Superman, right? You wouldn't say he's beating like fucking Darkseid, right?
Why not?
It depends on the location.
I don't know.
Depends. If he's fighting him inside Luke's LexCorp, and he's fighting him inside the laboratory, and they have a bunch of kryptonite. Okay, well then he's fucking easy to beat Superman.
So without that, 99% of the time when he doesn't have kryptonite, would you say that he beats Superman?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then. So then there's multiple occasions where you've seen Wonder Woman beat Superman on varying levels of difficulty.
Well, actually,
that's why I'm a big fan of picking a particular version of a character, because you have so many things you can go to that like counteract one another's point.
So,
and it's an endless back and forth because there's no consistency.
Superman is afraid of speedsters. Wonder Woman claps them.
So you can make an argument. You can make an argument for him being able to absorb the fucking Speed Force if he bought a speedster, right? Like, we're talking about versatility, and Wonder Woman, again, she gets shot by regular bullets. I had like 5 scans that Khan didn't put up, but I have her getting shot by regular ass niggas.
So my
But again, you have to pull those scans instead of using the strongest instead of defaulting on the strongest version. You're defaulting on the strongest version of Absorbing Man, but you're not defaulting on the strongest version of Wonder Woman.
There's two differences though. But there's two differences. Absorbing Man hasn't been retconned like as nearly as much as Wonder Woman. Right. His origin is pretty consistent from that time, from where he drinks the potion to where he is now. Is a one steady, consistent storyline for his character. All his feet stand. Wonder Woman's changed up like 50 billion times.
Also, sorry, nobody defaults to peak. That doesn't even make sense. People default to canon. If you default to peak, that means you're defaulting to shit that may or may not be canon. That means that people would be defaulting to Superman and to Silver Age Superman right now. That's fucking sneezing galaxies away. Nobody does that. But like, anyway,
I don't know why I'm up right now.
But again, it depends on whether they retcon your character or not.
Real quick, the reason why I don't think that's logical is because you can be a character like Superman and get whipped by Wonder Woman, but because the reason why Superman doesn't win is because he may not have the same hacks as a character like Absorption Man. Like, you can't sit here and just say, oh, because this character has this.
Superman doesn't have hacks.
What?
Superman doesn't have hacks.
He's just saying, for example.
The same hacks. That's what I said.
Okay. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
So you can be a character that is just the perfect fucking counter for another character. Doesn't mean that you can beat the opposition of whoever that person has
Right.
a feat in, but it just so happens to be that your hacks is perfectly matched for that character that you're opposing. We can't sit here and just say, "Well, do you think that he's going to be Superman?" And if the answer is no, then he doesn't beat Wonder Woman. That's not how. That's
Yeah.
not how
The
Yeah, I agree.
inconsistency by that though is that on other occasions, even with those hacks, Superman will fucking wash her easily. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. That's the difficulty here is that you have a long history of back and forth, her being broken as fuck, and then her being weak as fuck. That's what I'm saying. Pick one version of her and debate that one version because everything's consistent. There's no ass blink from anywhere else. She has what she has. He has what he has.
Or if it's composite, just let it be composite because a minute ago someone was saying to not include like death metal verse, right? Because that was like too one-off. But like if it's composite, you would include death metal verse, which would instantly put her at fucking mega fucking universe level destruction. Like so, like if that's what you want, that's if that's what you want, that's composite. If that's not what you want, then you know picking a specific version or at least being like pick a loadout, I think makes more sense than like it doesn't, because it doesn't make sense to me to be like the reality is that there are fucking Daredevil's a regular dude, you know, just like we put up a scan of Wonder Woman getting boxed out by Bat Family, you know, Daredevil fucking up Absorbing Man is a critical hit. You know, if that had been pulled up, that would have been a critical hit during this debate, you know.
Agreed.
But the theory in the head is that he's at a level way above that where that wouldn't hurt him, right? When in reality, he might be like, ho ho, I'm Rock, and she might clap him in the jaw, and he's like, oh shit, you know, that might actually take him out. But with that, it just depends on the writing, and that's just my 2 cents there.
Comic characters are tough, man. That's why I don't like comic characters that often because there's so much of this shit.
Right, comics. I completely agree with you guys. But again, I didn't bring like the full version of the composite trio. Like I just used him from his base and then just stating his feats that he's done in the past. But I mean, like again, there's times where he had the powers of the Cosmic Cube. I didn't bring that into like, oh, you want to use Wonder Woman? I'm going to use Cosmic Cube trio. Like that doesn't make sense. But the fact that he's absorbed it when it was in his vicinity, then we could show how the limits of his absorption goes. Then I use that during the battle. Again, I fought him against. There's nobody really kind of like Wonder Woman in Marvel, so I used a lot of scans that featured the Sentry, which I think is as best can be comparable to Wonder Woman, I guess in Marvel, right? And I showed that he's able to steal his powers and able to absorb majority of his shit. Again, there's other scans I can show you, but I'm not bringing composite. I'm bringing him from his run now and the feats that he's done. No longer like he doesn't have the Cosmic Cube in his pocket. But what he does have is something. What he does have is whatever his opponent brings to the table. And the difference between Superman and Wonder Woman brings a whole arsenal of fucking weapons. Superman brings nothing. What's he going to absorb? Maybe the strength from Superman, maybe his durability. But again, for Wonder Woman specifically, she has divine weapons.
Right.
She brings it to him. She brings it all to him. So if he's swinging his fucking, how I see it, them standing against each other, he's gonna swing his ball and chain. She's gonna think he's a fucking stupid loser dude. Block his chain with either her shield or her gauntlets, and it's a fucking wrap from there. Like it's gonna be a long drawn out fight, but she's like, oh shit, he's a Mazo, and her first encounter with a Mazo was a bad one. Second encounter with a Mazo was a fucking bad one. She wasn't able to bring down a Mazo by herself. Every time a Mazo's called in, he's a fucking problem for the Justice League.
Yeah, but
this dude is a Mazo.
Yeah, but he's fighting composite Wonder Woman. He's not fighting Bat Wonder Woman.
And also, Mazo himself is a huge hack, similar to Absorbing Man, because as soon as he sees an ability, I can do that too. As soon as so that's the only way they shut him down is shutting him down before he absorbs any further abilities. You know what I mean? Like Okay, you got laser beams. Cool. We're gonna shut that down real quick. And now he can do like red tornado.
I'm sorry. He's not fighting presented Wonder Woman because the debate is over. We are talking about theoretical stuff. We are no longer talking about the debate. We are just having a regular conversation.
Yeah, debate.
I noticed you are in the comments going super hard. It is okay. The debate is over. Creel won, brother. Creel won.
3-0, yeah.
The war's over, bro.
And I will say on the Amazo point, the one caveat to that is he's so broken because he's fighting the entire Justice League at one time and absorbing all their abilities at the one time.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's as strong just fighting one person because he can only absorb that one person's abilities.
It's never stated he could. He's just never shown to be not able to do it.
So just
again, there's no.
He can't absorb what's not there. Though is what I'm saying. Like if
no, actually, no. Actually, let me take that back. The number 42 when he absorbs electromagnetism from Magneto.
No. I was talking about Amazo. I wasn't talking about Creel. I was talking about Amazo.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say yeah, because I was like Creel could absorb more than one power.
Yeah. I was talking about Amazo.
Okay.
And that's right there.
Continue.
That right there, like even when I was talking to my boy Ninja, like I couldn't cheat. Couldn't tell him like, look, bro, his absorption is better than what you think. Like everybody that has this idea of absorption, man, thinks that he needs to touch something. He literally just has to be around it. Y'all just saw when he was in space, he turned into gas. When he's around magnesium with Magneto, he's absorbing the magnetism. When he's getting shot by Scarlet Witch by magic, he's absorbing magic, like Odin Force, like Cosmic Cube. Like it's just like the range of absorption that he has is not like, oh, I need to.
But you have to remember too, Wonder Woman also has magic dispelling abilities and her enchanted weapon. So
right,
it's not just a one-off.
I understand that, but it would be an enchanted weapon versus an enchanted weapon.
Right, but her magic dispelling abilities will play something into that. You know,
yeah, it does play something into that. But do you think that so? When I gave you the conclusion round, right, and I said, okay, give us your conclusion. Did you add it in your conclusion?
No, it was in the middle. I mentioned it, and her ability was.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
no, it's cool. I'm just saying we're after the fact. After the fact.
I don't think he's debating the debate.
I personally feel bad. Personally, I'm like, bro, I didn't want it to go like that. I honestly thought Izuku was gonna go Wonder Woman. The way he was talking, the way I know how he is, I said, oh, Wonder Woman off top. That's why I had him go first.
I do commend him on that because he was non-biased as fuck on that. He only debated, he only judged what was presented and not like his personal opinion. So I'll fuck with you for that, look. I ain't gonna lie, because that threw me for a loop for sure. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. Like literally before I even said something, I said I did not see that coming. So I was like, yeah, but yeah, bro, I think that when it comes to a debate, those hard-hitting points as far as magic dispelling, and you have to scale if she can magic dispel, what range of magic can she dispel? And then the same thing with the mind control. We showed that Creel can do mind control, but then you also showed that Wonder Woman has resistance. Well, how much of that range of resistance in comparison to that other character does Wonder Woman have? You feel me? I just felt like one person had a little bit more research on the other character than the other.
No, for sure. I mean, for me, I took out a bunch of notes. Being it's like my first battle, I took out a bunch of notes and then figuring out like how to better organize it and how to better, present it. Because listening to you guys, I'm like, oh, okay, I missed that. That would have helped. But at the end of the day, I still think Wonder Woman would wash him. But
this is why I don't like comic death battles like that, because there is so many versions. Like Wonder Woman would get one shot at one, and the other one she's an all-powerful god.
Now let me ask you,
like anime or something like that. There's like a set continuity
with the way that this battle was presented to you. Is there any critique, something that you feel like would help this type of channel or this type of debate? And would you ever come back?
Me?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah. No, it was good. It was fun. I mean, we have these shits all the time when we see people, when we shoot the shit, when someone loves comments like we do, and then and I think it's good to be able to.
Real quick, this brother right here, All Might, he wants to smoke with every fucking body. I don't know why, but he already just said, "Let me give you a redemption." He's basically calling you out. I'm just That's him. That's kind of energy he has. But just letting you know.
What, me?
Believe it.
It's you. He when he said, "Hey, I come back." He said, "Let me give you your redemption." Like he's giving you that opportunity. So.
He's saying you're gonna beat him too. Is what he's saying. But it was great. The only critique I'll have from watching it: get that nigga scans right next time, because you fucked.
Bro, that wasn't on me, bro.
That was on Khan. That was on Khan.
Okay,
thank you. That from his own mouth.
Hey, that's all I want to say.
I'll say longer rounds.
I own to my shit, bro. That wasn't on Khan. I had the first 15, and they were already labeled, right? And then we went through them, and then there were some that I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm thinking he was on another level of where I was at.
But I will say they did put you at a slight disadvantage for the fact.
No, it did. I mean, that's what I wrote down. I have a bunch of notes.
It wasn't to his point. It wasn't just Ninja, but literally 30 minutes before the Battle Junkies was doing the same thing. We went over the scans again and made sure that his shit was right, and that's why. But other people, i.e. All Black, when you finally come on here and battle again, we have to have a practice before we get into the debate to make sure that you have your shit properly labeled, to know that I can swing it up whenever time that you call it. And the reason why I did that, how many times we do that Battle Junkies? Like 3 times.
But yeah. I'm saying that point though, you gave
me and Ninja literally only did it once. So we didn't get a chance to practice. We didn't get a chance to go through all his scans, and he just sent me some right before the battle. So yes, I do take credence and whatever to the fact that I couldn't pull up his scans as fast as I want to. That's why I gave him the adjusted time. But there's only so much you can do. You feel me?
No, I'm not mad at you for that. I'm just saying to the point of like when Battle Junkies was going and you gave him that extra 30 seconds. Let's say he that was like that one point he got out was the thing that killed the debate. Now you gave him that unfair advantage to get out that last little thing that probably could have lost him the debate if he didn't say it earlier. That's all I'm saying for that one, because something like this, it's down to seconds and like points that you can get out. Because they could have swayed one of the judges a completely different way if he couldn't get out a point that they heard.
Do y'all feel like the round should be longer?
I feel like they should be longer, but you should also have the timer. I don't know if there's a way to make it visible, but if there was a way, that'd be good so everyone could see it.
The first time we brought up versus talk, we brought up timers, and then when we brought up the timer, like it was distracting people, or people felt like, okay, so say I gave everybody, like, this is the opposite of what happened the first time. The first time I brought this up, everybody didn't have 3 minutes worth of material. So it was like, oh, well, we don't need a clock, you know what I'm saying? Because it takes away the flow of the show where it feels misplaced. So then I go, okay, well,
I would say set a standard with the clock.
You gotta set a standard. Even like when we did
we had a standard. I had the clock on my phone, but I didn't post it on the. You feel me? That's why I would say, hey, 10 seconds.
But you got to stick to that though. Once that goes off, that's it. Because you gave Battle Junkies like an extra 15. And like it was cool because you gave Ninja like the extra time as well. But that 15 could have been the difference between him losing or winning. Is what I'm saying. So you got to.
If I give it to both, that's why I said I don't know if you noticed. I think on the second round when he had a whole minute left or something like that, he was done with a point. I said, "Is there anything else you want to drive home?" And he was like, "No, that's it." So I was just like, "Okay." You feel me? I tried to be as fair as I could with the time, but I didn't want to display it.
It was a great debate either way. It was just nitpicking at this point.
No, I want the nitpick.
Yo, I have a critique. If you can either make the rounds longer or add more categories, so that way the battle is more narrowed down for each category. Because we're kind of going around, like I said, I had a lot more for like powers because he's more hack-based than he is fucking.
As a round, like what round would you like to see? Because we actually have a tournament, a versus tournament with me and you versus. We first started off. All Black is in it. It's gonna be a couple of other dudes, and I think it's 8 of us all 8 of us in the tournament, and we all got street tier characters. And whoever wins, debate moves on to the next round. So that's going to be pretty much our filled out calendar for Tapping No Capping in the next, I think, 2 to 3 weeks, because we still got people trying to get scans and, do their research or whatever. But yeah, so I want all the critique now. So when I do come back and I do this, then it's like, you get what I'm saying?
I do have one critique too. I think when we, so you, Craig, you and I were going over the scans, and you got to take out some of Battle Junkie. I know my man's had all his chips in the so maybe set a limit and then drive that so that way it's more centered around say it's like 30, right? So you split 30 into 5 or split into 10.
I think I already told the group. I told them 40 each. What happened with Battle Junkie was between me and you, both know, like I was waiting for the scans for you, and while I'm waiting on the scans for you, Battle Junkies was just flooding the fucking scans. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So by the time it was time for you to finally do it, which was literally the day prior, now I got to make room. You feel me? Now I got to discuss with Battle Junkie and say, hey, yo, you got to take this off so he can do this. And now I got you. But then now Battle Junkies has to adjust his argument per the scans that he has to take off. So it's a lot of back and forth. So yes, I agree.
I agree with Ninja, like, because I think I asked you, like, do we have categories or how many scans can I send you?
Right.
And you just said, like, send me whatever. So I sent you everything. Like, I sent you fucking every fucking thing. And, with, you know, because I didn't know how it was going to be set up.
But the first time when we actually reached a limit. I literally was deleting videos and all types of shit that I normally haven't ever on this show ever before. But I did so I can make sure both of y'all had enough scans, which y'all didn't even fucking use, which pissed me off a little bit. But
I used all my scans, bro.
It's like 5.
I mean, I had a lot, but yeah.
I would say 5 per round for each person.
Yeah, exactly, like 5 per round. They had way more, but it says on here that you get 100 things that you get to plug in. The shit stopped at 70 something. So it's like. You get what I'm saying? So in my mind, I said, "Oh yeah, send as much as you can."
That's because your videos are going to take up more storage because they have higher storage spaces. It's going to take up more
high quality video, by the way. I liked it.
Oh yeah, really nice.
You appreciate that.
Really nice.
Well, hey, you know, something
like.
All right.
Well, anyways, y'all, I think that we had a good discussion.
Hey, hold up. Logan has something to say real quick.
Go ahead.
I do want to say, I think from both the debater perspective and the judge perspective, I mean this. So, like, I do think that the arguments do need to be a little bit more refined. I think that a lot of the arguments kind of come down to a character-to-character comparison. It's like, oh, well, this guy beat this guy that's really strong, so and we all know that person's really strong, so that's a point for me, right? You know, and it's like I think we need something a little more substantial, and I think the judges should be looking for something a little more substantial too, especially because I think the content here is the debate itself. And so I think the actual form of your argument is key. But that's all.
Okay.
No, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I mean, I think maybe we set a standard. So, like, say, for example, and I'm just off the top of my head, like, kind of what he's saying is, like, say Superman's that level of strength, right? And Batman's that level of intellect. Tony's that level of expertise. Like, if we find one character we all agree on in a certain category, that's the scale, and then base the characters off of that, maybe.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate everybody showing up. Charlie, thank you for making a random guest appearance. You're always welcome. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, Nikitas, for doing this last minute. Thank you, Ninja, for your time and gracing us with your stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Did your thing as well. Thank you for showing up as well. As everybody want to give out, starting with Itazuku. Give everybody your follows and your business and all that.
Listen, brother. You go to YouTube. You type in Itaizuku, just like it appeared right there before my man took it off the screen. Itaizuku, you go watch my music videos, you go watch them AMVs, you come back to me, you leave me a little comment, you say, I really like that shit, brother, or you say that was a piece of shit, and I'll say, fuck you, man. But I'd appreciate that, brother. I'd really love it.
Battle Junkies.
Again, follow Battle_Junkies on the IG and on TikTok. If you'd like battles like this where you actually could make convincing arguments and not spite battles, come check out my page. Link up with Khan if you find something you like. Maybe we could find you an opponent. Maybe I'll battle you. You know what I mean? But I have plenty of battles. Go check it out, guys. I think you'll like what you see.
The opponent.
I'm just regular old Ninja Wakanda. I do art, so if you want to check out at Art of Wakanda, that's on Instagram. I do digital art as a side hustle, so if you want a caricature, anything like that, just hit me up on there, shoot me a DM, let me know. Like I do stuff like this just randomly, just because.
No, put that back up. Put that back up.
Yeah.
That's just randomly. That was just
freehand.
That was just freehand. I mean, if I stay time and stuff. So you check it out. It's at Art of Wakanda on Instagram. But other than that, I'm just a regular old ninja nerd like the rest of y'all.
Yes, sir. Nikitas.
Oh man, you putting on me?
Of course.
Yeah, Nick Pop Fix on Instagram. I collect pops and watch anime. That's about it.
Can you show us one of the rarest pops that you have?
Rarest?
Yeah. You know you got a lot of pops when you look at the ceiling, bro.
Like, they're on the floor. Look.
You started looking at the ceiling first.
He ran out of shelf space.
Probably this one. Not too many people have this one. Oh wait, no, this is the newer one.
My man got to get the ladder, climb up to the top, go down.
Right.
Probably this one.
Hey.
People slept on this one when it came out because it was a mystery box and nobody knew what was in the box.
Okay. I didn't know that was a rare one. That's clean.
Yeah, just because people didn't know it was coming out. Like nobody knew what was in that box.
Okay. All right. And
oh shit,
Charlie.
Hi guys. Diesel at the Then and Now podcast. You literally type that in anywhere, you'll find it anywhere. I would appreciate it if you guys go to the YouTube, give us a sub. We do gaming. We've done some great interviews. I do a bunch of video essays myself. And then we just talk about nerd shit with 3 different generations of nerds.
All right, man. It's your boy, the comment, KHAN_man.510. That's the
this one too.
Huh?
This one too.
What is that?
Dobby.
Dobby?
Yeah.
Dobby. Hey.
Wait, hold on. My fault. Go ahead. Show me real quick. Pull it up to the.
Can you see it?
Oh, I was like, what the fuck? Oh, that's cold.
That's clean.
Can you turn it a little bit to your right? No, I said a little bit. Okay,
There you go. There you go.
That's hard.
Yeah, that shit fire.
Okay, yeah. Don't interrupt my outro again. Yeah, man, you fucking up my script, but yeah.
My theme music.
That's a bad. Catch me Universe of the Base. Catch me on the Blerd Cartel. You know we doing well. Catch me on What It Sound Like podcast. We get your best reviews and interviews. And catch me on Blerd Approved Entertainment on Tap In No Capping. Basically, with Blerd, you've seen it, then what's your opinion? And we signing out. Thank y'all for tuning in. Subscribe to all our channels, man.